I do.
Covino and Rich.
Are you ready?
Honestly, how do I deal with you every day?
Get ready.
You're on the radio.
Whoa! Yeah!
Holy mother nugget! Holy mother meatball!
I'm the smartest man alive! You're so ridiculous. What? You're such a fool. Get out of here.
Oh, I'm a disc jockey.
What's a disc jockey?
Here we go. Covino and Rich.
Let's go!
Ready for a fun one or what?
Let's do it.
I guess so.
Let's
hey,
go.
welcome. Welcome to the show on this magical hump day.
Couple anniversaries today.
Really?
Couple news alerts.
Whose anniversary?
Couple stories.
What anniversary is it?
It's the anniversary of two big events.
Really? I can't wait. I'm so intrigued. See, ready, intrigued. Plus, we got mail to open. Everybody always loves that. We got entertainment, sports, life, women. Yeah, women. Thank you, guys. We're Covino and Rich. You know that. What's up, Bill? What's up, Matt? What's up, Gurmeet? What's up, Arj Rachel? What's up, Zush? What's up, Tony Moriello? I love you, buddy. Thanks for rocking out with us every day. Tell your friends about us. Let's go! Cause rocking out is what I like to do. Gotta be careful with this coffee. I feel like I'm trying to wean myself. I'm trying to wean myself off the coffee.
Motherfucker said ween.
Oh my God! Coffee makes my heart go.
Bill Burr.
Chill.
Bill Burr does a hilarious old school comedy bit that could never be played in 2022. But he talks about how anytime a straight guy does anything remotely heartfelt or sweet, back in the day, all your buddies would be like, "Yeah, what are you, gay? What are you?" And it's a hilarious bit. Look it up on your own time.
Little foofy.
I don't even want to play it on this show.
Bafungaloots?
It's so over the top based on the 2022
What you're able to say.
gauge of what you could say. But look
what
up
you're able to say today.
Look up on TikTok or YouTube Bill Burr talking about toxic masculinity, about how every time a guy does anything remotely sensitive or remotely like even smart, like it's raining. Your buddy has an umbrella. You're like, yeah, what's the umbrella? What do you like, dicks? Like he does a whole bit about it.
Would you pull it out your ass?
So
Yeah, I just watched it with Rich. It was
Yeah.
really funny, but
We
lost funny. You want to
Yeah,
know
we
the
did.
other update? Steve Harvey made a big announcement today.
Oh, that he's a judge now?
No, he's done doing comedy. He's going to be a judge full time. No, he's done doing comedy because the cancel culture won't let him be funny. He can't be funny the way Bill Burr was in that old clip. It's not that you have to be raunchy or sexist or homophobic to be funny, but there's some humor in those things.
There's humor in the delivery of using maybe
In those stories. It could be about
Language you can't use
a family
now.
member. Yeah, just anything. He doesn't want to take those chances. So Steve Harvey's doing just fine without stand-up comedy.
And Bill Burr's doing fine doing stand-up comedy. Just there's certain things where it's like, man, that's so great, but I doubt you could do it the same way anymore. Not that, and I don't think there's anything wrong when things are done like that in the
sense of
in
comedy.
the sense of comedy, right? But hey, what
Well,
do I know?
Tell Dave Chappelle that.
I'm just a doofus on the radio,
Right.
on the podcast world.
That's Rich Davis, doofus on the radio. Steve Covino
Yep.
here. Spot the producers in his log cabin. We're Covino and Rich, at Covino and Rich on social media. Why are you looking at me?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, it's
I see you on the monitor. Look at it. I see you in my peripheral.
Oh, why? You
Look
never
at it.
used to look at the monitor? We moved the monitor today.
No, but I can see.
I
I
moved
feel
it.
you looking at me. But and you're
I
smiling.
don't know why. I
know
put it in a place that it should have been the whole time, and
Yeah.
I just figured it out today.
That's okay,
good.
Spotty. It's
Maybe-
a learning experience.
I-
Like there are
I-
times people go, "When are you guys going to do this?" I'm like, you do realize like the rug was swept out from under us, under our big ass feet in the middle of a pandemic, and the next day we were
Nobody
on the
cares.
radio doing our own podcast.
Nobody cares.
I said
mean,
this,
And that was less than a year ago. Like people are like, when are you going to do this? I'm like, you know what? Like we have all these ideas that are going to happen. It just,
I scrambled to put the studio together, and it's kind of been the same ever since. Even though I've tweaked things as it's gone along, but like, I was like, okay, I did it, it's done, and I haven't needed to address it because everything functions. But I
yeah.
just
And then
know-
you go back to it's. You know what it's like?
I think the pills I'm on make my brain work differently. I swear.
I believe it.
You know what it's like?
I'm like, oh,
I
this
brought
makes
this
more
up.
sense.
I brought this up to my buddy Christina the other day because we were just talking about how very similar conversation to what you and I were talking about. How when you're an adult, there's always something doing.
There's always something.
Whether it's your storage unit flood or your fucking bathroom faucet,
You know
or
what? I'd rather it be always something with my house than always something with my health. Because as you get older, then it becomes your health.
Of
Man, I just had a heart issue. Now my fucking now I got an asshole issue. You know, like you don't need that. So health is wealth. I'm glad I don't have to deal with that right now.
I agree with Zush. Was I looking at you like, stop looking at me, Swan? Was I giving you a weird look?
Rewind it. He was sitting there smiling at me. I wasn't sure why.
I had an internal dumb thought that I guess I'll share. I've been rocking this cup every day, this mug that Dave Abbey got me, and I fucking love it because
Most rocking you've ever done.
Honestly, it feels good. I don't know how to describe it. Sometimes you get an item like this mug.
That's a real mug. That's a man's mug.
It feels good. The handle's good. It holds extra coffee.
Feel good. Maybe he got it from Feels Good Inc.
You know who would drink out of a mug like that? John Dutton. That's a John Dutton mug.
Exactly, Spot. But then I said to myself, how long do I drink out of this mug before I actually have to look up where Banff, Canada is or actually go there one day? Well, in my lifetime, will I ever go to
Banff,
Canada?
Is possibly one of the most beautiful places on earth.
Banff.
Great for it's known for its winter activities. Banff, but also beautiful in the summer.
Maybe one day. Maybe that's where I
Would you
vacation.
like me to show you on a
next.
map where Banff is?
Please do. Yeah, honestly, just to get the reason why I stared at Covino funny, because I'm looking at you as I was taking my sip. I looked at you and I looked down at my mug. I'm like, Banff, Canada. You use yours as a pen holder, which, by the way, equally useful.
I just need some rice like they do in Chinese restaurants. I need some rice in there.
Yeah, do that. And you need a little cat that's like waving.
Spot, can you give me some white rice to throw in here to give it some weight
rice?
for the pens?
Oh, gotcha.
Like they do at the Chinese restaurant.
Google Maps. Banff, that's where Banff is.
Oh, so Banff is not far away.
Banff, here we are, right here.
No, but I'm saying like Banff is.
Banff's in.
We were in Vancouver and it wasn't that
right.
crazy far. It's near Calgary.
Yeah, Banff
Calgary.
National Calgary.
heard of Banff.
Calgary.
I definitely know of Banff.
There it is, Banff National Park.
Maybe one day.
Want to look at some images?
Banff is gorgeous. Rich, I'll DM you some pictures.
Yeah,
Since
that's
you
what
brought
I've
up-
heard. Like here.
Of your booty or Banff,
Yes.
Kim?
Both.
Whoa, hey, what's up?
Cascade Mountains?
Look at this.
Holy shit, that's beautiful.
Look at the beauty that Banff has to offer.
Look at this.
Look at that
Gurmit saying
crevice.
Banff is beautiful in the summer. It's a beautiful hiking area.
Well, that's why Dave Abbey was inspired
That crevice better stop playing.
to buy you those mugs, to buy us
Look
these
at that.
mugs.
Look at that mountain.
By the way, Spot, go to the is that Mount Crevice? Please go back to that. Is that Mount Crevice?
Mount Crevice.
Crevice better stop playing.
Mount Crevice.
About to get
Honestly, is that a little waterfall in there? Like a little
Yeah.
that is Mount Crevassier.
this. Look at this photo, man. Banff. Show's over.
The
Banff.
goal is to see as much of it as possible before we die.
I saw some sad stat. Let me write this down. Stat.
Sad.
I'm gonna write the sad stat. Let's see if I remember later.
You should make it a segment. Rich's sad stat of the day. Bring it to Fox Sports Radio.
That's a good one. I like it. That's why I laughed at you, because as I looked at you, I looked at my mug. I'm like, Banff. I don't even know where this is. It's probably beautiful. I'm gonna go there. Went to Banff a couple years ago. We're getting the feedback. People saying it's beautiful. What's up, Dirk? Crevasse. All right. Where do you want to start? Where we left off?
Well, I want to tell you that I had a pretty decent Tuesday night. Did a whole lot of nothing, to be honest. Scratched my inner hairy man thighs. Did some turbo. Did the whole dad thing. Stuck in traffic. Same old Tuesday as normal. But I was really excited to get home and watch the things we talked about on yesterday's show, which was Tom Brady, episode 9, Man in the Arena, followed up by Joe Montana, Under Pressure.
Well, hold that thought.
Or Man Under Pressure. What's it called?
I have to. It's Cool Under Pressure.
Cool Joe
Joe
Under
Cool.
Pressure.
Think of Joe Cool.
Joe Cool Under Pressure.
I just had to finish my thought. I know why why that all came to be with Banff and everything.
Banff.
I was telling you, I was talking to my friend Christina. This is just, we were saying how there's always something as an adult.
Yeah.
It ties back to Spot saying we got the studio ready. And when I was younger, I never understood. You ever go to someone's house and they don't have a cover on one of their light sockets? You're like, yeah, that's like $2. Why are they not going to do this? And you realize they just have house fatigue. It's what it is. It's like you get to a point where you
good
move
enough.
into a place, you get all set up, and you're like, fuck, we started painting that wall and we stopped. All right, we'll do it this week. And then something happens where everyone has something in their house where house fatigue has taken over. Where you're like, yeah, I know there's no outlet
it's like you
cover.
quit right before the finish line.
I mean,
Like you had every intention to do it, but you're like, yeah, I'll get around to it. Fuck it. Like honestly, other things have taken over.
there's something on the floor here that I trip over. It's a piece of equipment. I trip over it at least every day, once a day, because I go cross over it to go turn off one of the lights.
Yeah.
At least once. And all I have to do is order a longer XLR cable, and that situation will be handled.
But
Put
you
it
know
at the
what?
finish line.
And I did
There's
it,
something
and it's
about-
done, and it works, and I'm like, I'll get to it eventually.
Repair fatigue.
People do that. This whole studio as a whole.
It also
was-
requires spending
yeah.
money, which I don't want to do.
was finished right before the starting line.
Even though I love
we
to
have all
spend
these
money.
pictures to hang up.
Yeah, honestly, this
Never
studio
happened.
is the example of construction or home fatigue. Pictures and I guess you would say framed posters from events to be hung, but because it's not on screen, it's not urgent. But you're right there. It's the lights to be hung from the ceiling instead of on stands. That's something my contractor's like, I'll do. Just let me know when you're ready. Like we are.
Yeah, like
Everyone does that. It's work. It's fatigue.
I'm constantly tweaking the digital part of this, like all this shit. I'm constantly messing around with and having fun with the physical aspect of the show. I'm just like, it's done.
Yeah. Bill Jackson even said, and he's a guy that's always up on this shit with home improvement. People get lazy. It's that last step. It's like, you're right, Covino. The finish line's here. You're so close. And you're like,
I'll just take a nap.
yeah, you know what? I fucking need crown molding in that top corner. I'll fucking get around to it. 2 years later. It's just
Never
how it
gets
is.
done.
The end. Back to Montana and Brady, two of my heroes. But
There's a weird phenomenon with that, though. Like, it's almost like you put it on hold on purpose subconsciously
yeah, like
because it gives you something to do and
I
think
tell
about.
I tell Sarah that all the time. Like, all right, in our house, we finally got chairs for our dining room table. Because when we ordered our table, which I love,
They look very nice.
there were no chairs that matched it appropriately at the store.
I like the chairs.
And then, Spot, the problem was we have two little boogers.
Yeah, big boogers.
We have
You eat
two.
them.
We have two.
Both.
Giant booger.
We have two.
Ben is the biggest booger of them all.
And you eat Ben's boogers.
Yeah, you do. You suck them out and you eat them.
There's two kids. I don't eat them.
I mean, you said
I
you
did it one time, and I didn't eat it. Poor little Ben is so fucking out of it. I'll explain that in a second. But we needed chairs. It took us months to get chairs. And then we finally ordered chairs that aren't even ones we love. It's just every beautiful dining room chair. Nowadays, the trend is cloth, but it's usually light cloth. And I'm like, yo, if we get light cloth chairs, how fucking long before each one has fucking spaghetti stains on it?
That's why you go to IKEA and you get those ones that have the
Spot.
replaceable covers.
We got pretty inexpensive chairs that look nice enough, and we're like, we'll get really good chairs when the kids are 5 or older. Because right now, it's like, yo, if we get a chair that's like a light cloth, how aggravated will I be? And not cloth, that comes off, like cloth that's built into the chair.
Yeah, no, you don't
Ben,
want that.
fucking jelly hand.
That's the thing. I'd love to see, anytime you see, who's our guy from Magnolia? Chip and Joanna Gaines.
Yeah.
Anytime you see Joanna Gaines, especially with the after, the before and the after,
Yeah.
they always have these light colored everything. White couches, white chairs, white rugs. Put that in a normal house and see what it looks like a month later.
Dude,
do they have kids, Chip and Joanna?
It's just,
I
it
think they
looks
do.
beautiful, but that
Oh.
shit is not sustainable.
You know those kids are like
Again, it goes to
on a
what
leash.
it goes to what we
An
talked about
actual
yesterday.
leash.
Like what's practical and what looks nice.
have
They're
a-
two different things.
They have one of those like dog fences around their furniture, so the kids can't go by the furniture.
The kids
Rich,
are
there you
cute,
go.
believe it or not. The kids are
Get
like
Ben a dog collar.
the
It'll let
kids
you
are
shot
vaguely
collar.
Asian looking redheads.
You know,
Vaguely Asian redheads.
It's 5 or older. Think again, Dickie. Got to go older than that. Yeah, you know what it is? It's anything light. Like I said, and Jen asked, didn't chairs come with the table? No, it was like a table that we have a bench on one side, right? The trend of like a nice bench on one side, and the other side you supposed to have chairs.
Approach the bench.
The chairs,
Rich also he uses it for his softball team too.
yeah, they had the bench, yeah.
Doubles up as
But-
Rich's softball seat.
Like to wrap it up, anything light when you have little kids is just a fucking nightmare waiting
It's the most
to
unpractical
happen.
thing you could possibly buy.
And not to go ADD, I don't want you to shame me. I have ADHD, so sometimes I go a little off the rails.
I can again.
That shit was funny as hell.
It was.
ADD, there was a BuzzFeed article about how you'd be sad to find out how many times these home improvement shows
Oh, I saw that.
like stage the house at the end to look done and great. And then they're like, all right, peace out later. And they leave these people with fucking problems. And it's not like one person. It's like the
it's
reputation in that HGTV world where they'd be like, we're going to redo your home. And then they bring in someone to stage it beautifully. They cover up holes in the wall. They cover up like fucking loose floor panels. Plumbing doesn't work. And they're like, all right, peace out.
Well, Rich, look at your house was done over the course of months.
Yeah.
And there's still, you have the punch list?
I still have a punch list
There's
that
still little things here and there that need to be addressed, like things settle
Dude,
and paint.
my contractor said, listen, luckily.
There's no way that they can do this in the course of like a week, whatever they do on these shows.
The best decision I ever made was finding a contractor that lives like 3 minutes from me because he's like, we're going to know each other for years.
Nobody.
It's not going to cost your money all the time, but he's like, you don't do a full redo on someone's house and say peace out. He's like, things settle like my fireplace. My fireplace was brand new, but it's settled, so now there's a slight crack down the sheetrock, the plaster. So he's like, all right, I'll touch that up, but you might even want to wait another month or so to see what happens. So finish line, the feedback is abundantly clear. Everyone's the same, Covino. Everyone's like, yo, I'm missing outlet covers. I'm missing little painting areas. Like, here's another thing. Something goes wrong in your house and you really don't fix it. Right?
You put a Band-Aid over
Put
it.
it in.
Yeah.
You get it functional.
And you're like, oh, I'll fix it one day.
By the way, you also shouldn't get light furniture when your friends use black hair dye.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's a good one.
Just so that's my other tip.
Well, I
My other
don't
home improvement
ever
tip.
get light towels and things like that for that reason. Like, hey, I don't want my hair dye rubbing off on my towels or anything like that. Like white towels, white sheets, no bueno. I don't want any of that stuff because it's going to end up looking like shit. So, yeah, it looks nice. Looks great.
That's why you got
it's grand.
That's why you got a dark green couch.
Yeah, not practical
Honestly,
at all.
I wish I got your
Rich, you
color
did the right
couch.
thing.
My color couch is too light for the kids. That's why we have that little couch cover on it, which doesn't look bad.
I like your couch works though. I like it.
Nice spaghetti stains all over it.
Yeah, trust
jelly fingers.
I mean, I have fucking stains on my couch.
You know what happened yesterday?
Spaghetti stains on my couch.
Let me vent dad life for 30 seconds and
Sure.
we'll move on because I do want to hear your thoughts on my two heroes, Tom Brady and
I
Joe
didn't have
Montana.
much to say about it.
All right. Yesterday, I'm laying. I get like my 1 second of like chill time. I'm like laying on the couch. I'm fucking lamping. I'm lamping, Larry. I'm lamping. And all of a sudden I hear like glass shatter. And I'm like, oh no.
And Stone Cold
Oh,
Steve
no.
Austin comes
And,
fucking
yeah, dude, spot. It was crazy. My front door slams open. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh no.
Hey, what's up, Rich? 316 says kick your ass. I hear glass shatter.
And what happened?
And they're Stone Cold. Hey!
Was he like in his singlet or in
He was,
his
he was
Speedo?
in a singlet and a leather vest, and he said, it was crazy. I was like,
"Here, have a
I was
beer."
Like, oh my God, Stone Cold. He threw me a beer. I smashed it on my head and I chugged it. And I was like, oh, wow, what a wild Tuesday this turned out to be.
Were you dreaming? Or did that really happen?
Yeah, no, that really happened. And then, then all of a sudden he said he was going to open a can of whoop ass on me. And I was like, oh man, let's do it.
Our table. It's broken.
So I hear glass shatter and I'm like, oh no. I'm like, who am I going to hear cry? Who am I going to hear react? I hope no one's cut. I hope, that whole, everything goes through your head, right? And I hear Emmy go, oh no, and start like hysterically crying. I'm like, are you okay? She's like, oh, okay. She has a unicorn snow globe.
I knew you were
A
going to say
unicorn snow globe that that grandma got her. And it's a big snow globe that plays music and it's like has a unicorn and a rainbow in it with sparkles.
I saw my daughter's heartbreak when she did the same thing one time.
She dropped it, but I wasn't even worried about the mess, but I was like, yo, there is glass everywhere. So I'm like, baby, sit on the couch. It's going to be okay. I immediately was like, Sarah, go on Amazon, see if you could find the same fucking one. It's probably $20. It was.
I have such a sweet spot for snow globes. I don't know why.
Dude,
I love them.
Melody got one
I would
from
have a
Santa,
room of snow globes.
and it was some like magical
Magical
Cinderella
snow,
one
yeah,
or something. I
Magical
don't know.
snow globe.
And fell right through her hands. I saw it though. Dude, I saw her heart literally, bro. Like, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about it. Santa got
By the way, no, Jacob, it was not John Madden busting through my glass window offering me a Miller Lite. Boom, Miller Lite.
the ghost of John Madden.
Yo, I was like, oh no.
Yeah. I knew you were going to say that for some reason.
Yeah, and I was like, Emmy, it's okay. We called Grandma. So I was like, we FaceTime Grandma. I was like, hey, Cindy, tell Emmy it's gonna be okay. So I was like, talk to Grandma because I don't want her or Ben near the glass. So I'm cleaning the glass. I got the little shop vac. I got the little. Then I clean the floor with a special vacuum just to make sure I got every little thing. But I'm talking. Not only is it the fucking gross snow globe water, it's the snow inside is everywhere. So there's little white things everywhere and shards of glass. So that was pain in the ass number one.
Wait,
And-
so the Stone Cold really didn't come? You mean you made up the whole thing?
So wait, Stone Cold wasn't here? And he didn't offer you a beer?
How about the Kool-Aid Man? Did he come?
I wish I could say that. That was the story.
Wait, so you made that whole thing up?
Stone Cold. So
Cold Miller Lite.
that was hassle number one.
Boom.
And before you get
Aces to play.
into your night, my night was just another sleepless night because Ben's teething bad. He's drooling like a wild dog. So he has like a little fever and he's teething all
Same.
night and he's so irritable.
Like Rich looking at our guests in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
What, like he's going around like this?
Like Rich using our show as a dating pool in the early 2000s?
Like looking across like this?
If I
Like
didn't
Rich?
use our show as a dating pool, I wouldn't have dated anyone I dated.
Like Rich
He
harassing
wouldn't be married.
our Maxim hotties?
I wouldn't
In
be
the early
married and I
2000s?
wouldn't have dated the last like 3 girls I dated.
3 girls.
No, well, there was a story. A colleague of ours accused Rich of using our show
As a dating pool.
as a dating pool.
Yeah.
You know
He's
what?
fu- yeah, and
Which is
know,
true.
and know what the sad reality is? I'm
You blew
happily
it. The
married.
sad reality is?
I'm happily married with 2 kids and dated some beautiful women, and she's fucking lonely.
Oh, man.
The sad reality is
true.
the girl that you got chewed out for, you totally blew it with.
Oh yeah, the girl that she accused of me of hitting on in like the lobby.
man.
We ended up going on a couple dates, and it's one of the few like, what happened, girls?
She had like massive floppers.
Yeah, she did. I mean, they were massive floppers, but I mean,
Did you get to play with the massive floppers at least?
yeah, but I mean,
Okay.
like not. You know.
You know what? Then you won. As far as I'm
By
concerned.
the way, Pete Nice, glad to hear his voice. Well, not his voice. Glad to see a message. He goes,
How's-
"What's up, fellas?
how's
Yo,
Boris?
Rich, how's Boris Lawrence?" He goes, "What is it with kids and snow globes? My kid broke a nice one that we got just recently, crying in suit.
Yeah.
It must be a kid has a snow globe until they break it.
Think about it.
I love
It's
snow globes.
fragile.
globe
It's
is
slippery
something-
and circle. I don't know.
But it's something they play with. They pick up, they turn it upside down.
Snow globes are a beautiful encapsulation of joy.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a crushing moment when a kid breaks
You're like,
one.
how do they fit all this joy in this little globe that has snow and water and
It's
figures?
sort of traumatic. I'm
That was
sure
that
Emmy
was
was
that
devastated.
that was that plastic bag on the front stoop. I'm glad you didn't pick it up, Spot, because there was like glass all in it. I was like, oh, I hope Spot doesn't. I'm saying I'm glad you didn't like move it or something, because I'm telling you, it's like,
I just assume a bag on your front step has a diaper in it. Why would I pick it up?
yeah, that's something else I need to address with Sarah. Like, where do we put shit diapers?
In the garbage.
No, you don't. You're not in the house.
Well, they
I know the diaper genies, but
Yeah.
that's like, I don't know. That's fucking worthless. All right,
Is it? It's
on
I feel
to.
like it's a multi-million-dollar business.
I'm sure it is.
It worked fantastic. I used it for forever. The
So
diaper genie.
I thought you had the diaper dude.
no, he was the diaper dude.
I was the diaper dude.
So, Joe Montana, Tom Brady, 2 documentaries about probably, arguably, 2 of the top 5 quarterbacks of all time. One's on Peacock, one's on ESPN. They're done differently. My opinion is that the Montana one's a little cheesier, but cool because it's old school. And the Brady one, did you notice even more B-roll of like horses and fucking animals?
There's so
Is it
many
time?
galloping horses. Like,
time?
is he like a does he have some sort of native thing going on? Like, what is up with that?
He fucking loves.
It's so out of context and out of place.
He
It
loves
doesn't make
Yellowstone.
sense. No, it really is bad. So for that, I'm gonna have to say no. I don't like it.
but
I
besides the galloping horses,
I like the story. I don't like the over creative editing that they use on his documentary.
I don't mind it.
Again, there's highlights of Tom Brady playing football, and then all of a sudden, Out of nowhere.
It'll be that. Yeah.
It's like, there's
hold
two
on.
rhinos fucking for no reason. I'm
But
like,
is it like superimposed like
No,
this?
no. It's like Spot. It'll be like
I
Tom Brady's
imagine
like
it's-
Tom Brady's like, and then we went on the game-winning.
ridiculous,
It's like
man.
then we went on the game-winning drive. It's like a picture of Gronk catching a ball, but then it's a picture of a horse galloping. Then it's like Edelman catching a slant pattern over the middle. Then it's like rhinos like.
Yeah, but I don't. Like I could see if Tom Brady like really even led with some sort of spiritual side of him.
Where's the courses?
know, or-
going?
Well, he
Those
did
are
tell
beautiful.
That makes zero sense at all.
Oh, the ones in the snow are so nice. Oh, here you go.
Yeah.
No, that's what it is, Spot. It's like, and then we went on the game-winning drive. Horses galloping.
and then,
however,
and then cut to Gronk. Like,
Hey, Tony's bro.
yeah, it's like it makes no sense. So yeah, there's none of that in the Montana documentary.
I just assumed it was like superimposed, like like him throwing and
No,
like this.
Spot. It's no. It's
This is what I envisioned.
It's straight up B-roll of horses galloping. Covino, but he did tell the story, the fable of the Chinese farmer. So maybe it was a little.
That girl on a horse.
Fable of the Chinese Farmer was fantastic, and it does apply to
Can we just have the
his
show
life
like this the
and-
rest of the day?
a lot of our lives.
No.
The Fable of the Chinese Farmer, I'm sure you've heard it. I'm not going to do it justice, but it's the story of the farmer saying maybe. You know, his horse runs away, and the town is like, we're so sorry about your horse. And he's like, maybe. Then the next day, that horse comes back with 10 other horses,
Oh, what great news!
and he's like, maybe. Then his fucking son breaks his leg, and like, oh, really sorry about your son's leg. And the farmer's like, maybe. And then the next day, they come to recruit
Him for the military.
his son for the military, but he can't be in the military because he has a broken leg. And they're like, wow, you got really lucky. And the point is, like, what seems to be bad could end up being good.
Yeah, you don't. You
never
can't,
know.
Yeah, you can't judge something when it happens. And
In other words, a lot of the lessons Tom Brady learned in life that he thought were bad in the moment ended up being
yeah,
lessons for good in his life.
the good isn't always bad, and the bad isn't always good. Maybe you never know. Like
Maybe.
Hey.
So, I mean, but that was the only sort of spiritual thing that he's said at all, if you even want to consider that spiritual.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm not sure what the Chinese farmer has to do with all the horses and anything anyway. But he does tell that story. Tom Brady tells a lot of great stories. I love listening to him. But the Joe Montana documentary, yeah, it's not as well produced for whatever reason, but I picked up on the reason, I think.
they repeat themselves a lot. You notice that?
They do repeat themselves. The footage is old. I didn't hold it against that because, I mean, he played
Reality.
a long time ago. The narrator is so bad. Who is it? Is it like his friend?
I agree. The
The
narrator.
narrator is what ruins it.
I feel like it's a sportscaster.
Sucks.
No, I think I
could
feel
have
like
done a
I
better
feel like
job.
it's a famous sportscaster doing their non-announcer voice.
horrible.
I agree.
That's really what ruins it. But otherwise, I watched 2 episodes. It's called Cool Under Pressure, Joe Montana, and his story is unbelievable. I only bring it up
This is
again.
the B-roll that we play for Covino.
Oh yeah, this is my liquid mountaineering days.
Yeah.
Men running on water.
Yeah. And then I met Rich in the early 2000s, and things really started to take off.
That would be the B-roll you would use.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then cut to me. And all right, so in the Tom Brady documentary, which is fantastic, it's overly produced and it makes no sense. They do again random cutaways.
Yeah.
In the Joe Montana documentary, story's just as amazing, but it's underproduced and the narration is terrible. Honestly,
That's the one bad point.
I
Yeah.
could have done a better job, and I'm not good at that stuff. I could be a better narrator.
What does it
Or-
sound like?
Like an average fucking schmo reading like script.
Yeah,
on
it's
Joe
if you
Montana.
give like the fucking Jerkman
yeah,
a script. Like, hey, Jerkman, read these. Like, Joe Montana went to Notre Dame, and then he did like it.
a great narrator could make or break the whole thing.
It's true.
You know, and this guy
Maybe you're
is
just
the weakest.
maybe you're just used to like the sports, like the 30 for 30s and the sports documentaries being like, and then
Well, I was
he
trying to
went
figure
for
out.
and then he went for
And
it.
it should be that way. You know, it should be dramatic.
By
This
the
guy's
way,
fucking lame.
Montana.
KCT brings up a good point, but KCT I think is missing something. Casey, thanks for watching and listening. He goes, whoever decided to pick the voice for Man in the Arena, there is the voice for the documentary is great. He's talking about the intro. That's the ESPN guy voice.
Man in the arena.
And I hate it,
Man
but because it's
in the arena.
in the documentary spot, it's out of place. When he's talking about like ESPN's top 5 plays, it makes sense. But when it's like, now time for Man in the Arena, sponsored by Under Armour,
Yeah.
it sounds fucking out of place.
That's the ESPN
Yeah,
guy.
it's the ESPN.
Sponsored by Fritos.
You know who does a lot of the female version of that? our girl Tony Collins. She's like
love her.
modelo, and whatever the tagline is,
Modelo.
whatever the tagline is. But yeah, whoever does the voices for ESPN does that. The Joe Montana narration
Tony
is
Collins.
the weakest. If it was Morgan Freeman, I'm just giving you like obvious ones.
Yeah.
If it was,
Fucking Liev Schreiber.
that's who I was thinking of.
Yeah,
If it was
they were-
Liev Schreiber or somebody like that, Schreiber or
Sometimes
Is
it's
there
so
a V or a
good.
B?
Maybe it's sort of like a referee in a way, right? Where it's like, if you don't really notice it, it's good. If you notice it, it's either bad or really good. But if it's good, you just don't notice it. Like I told you the other
Isn't
day
that
I
what
watched.
you want, though? You want something to kind of just blend in.
Yeah, I watched
pull you in at least.
I watched the 30, not the 30 for 30. I watched a little bit of The Last Dance with Jordan because I told you when I was done watching Brady, it just started playing Last Dance, and I was like, again, I forgot who narrated that, but it was fantastic. Spot, is there a way to find any of the Montana just to show what he's talking about? I have
if you wanna-
Peacock.
It sounds like a regular.
It's on
schmuck.
Peacock?
It's on Peacock.
Maybe I can find a free, or maybe I can find.
episode 1 is free, by the way.
Oh, okay. Let me
Episode
sign
1
up.
is free, so
Sign up for Peacock.
there's just something about it.
You
But
know what it is? It has to do with the subject matter. If the subject matter can hold its own, you want someone that kind of blends in. If the subject matter is a little bit like kind of boring, you want a strong voice, a la Morgan Freeman doing the Penguin documentary.
yeah,
Like you want a strong voice that's going to kind of pull you in and make something interesting
Mike Rowe
versus the content speaking for itself. in a
Will
documentary.
Arnett. There's people saying good narrators, but was your
Peacock.
takeaway from the Joe Montana thing that we remember him as a legendary winner in San Francisco, but I would guarantee you, because if I don't even know all the stories and Montana was like my childhood hero, you have to be a little older than us to even acknowledge the fight and the struggles and how he was like a lanky, skinny kid that no one ever really truly wanted to believe in. And his only greatest trait, the only great trait Joe Montana had early on was that he just knew how to win.
He was a winner. I just thought it was amazing. No, I don't remember all his like early college heroics. I was a little kid. I wasn't even born,
And,
was I?
And
So
the one thing you could say though about Montana is that Brady, not that he stepped into gold, but he took over for Bledsoe on a good team.
yeah,
Sign up for Peacock.
Montana and Bill Walsh built that shit from like the ground. That would be like Trevor Lawrence and whoever the next coach is building that shit. Like they were 2-14, 2-14, 2-14. Like this team stunk.
but they put him in the most weakest. That's why it took me that long to come up with that.
the most unfavorable.
Most unfavorable scenarios, and he came out on top. Like, yeah, we're losing by 30 points. Throw in that Montana guy. And he'd come back
Fucking win.
and win. And he did it like multiple times on all levels. That's what was amazing about the guy. He's like, wait a second. They couldn't score the whole game. They scored 40 points in one quarter with Joe Montana.
Yeah, it's
that was
insane.
insane. So that's really how he built his reputation and how he got his opportunity. Like, talk about seizing the moment. That's the story of Joe Montana. Cool under pressure.
And didn't you fucking hate all the old coaches?
Yeah. And no one believed in the guy. So it's really great. I feel bad because of it might be slightly underproduced, but the story doesn't go unnoticed. It's amazing. I highly recommend it. I don't want people to sleep on it because Joe Montana was our Tom Brady. Let's not forget that.
Because
Nobody
things-
was cooler. Nobody was better. You got to watch it. It's on Peacock. Joe Montana. It's. I think it's part of any NFL films.
Yeah.
So
Now,
enjoy it. It's good.
you know what it is, Cove?
Except
It's,
for the narrator.
Yeah, they did create the West Coast offense, Mike. That's obviously the football fact. Bill Walsh recognized Joe Montana's strength, which was, and we forget this because later in his career, when he was winning the final Super Bowls, he wasn't like the mobile Joe Montana, but early on he was quick, a great basketball player, a great athlete, a great baseball player. Like Joe Montana was just athletic. We forget that early on he was a scrambler. He was like a Josh Allen type, moving
Yeah.
around.
No, you could see how mobile he was in the early days for sure, especially when it compared him to guys like Steve DeBerg, who wasn't mobile at all, but had like a nasty arm.
Does the narrator kick in immediately?
Yeah, but and I was gonna say, Spot, one
Put it
last
this way, Spot, it doesn't add anything.
The
The story's great. The narration sucks.
One last thought about the intro. Like, when comparing it to Last Dance or Tom Brady, Man in the Arena, or some of the really, like, we're talking top tier Emmy, Golden Globe award winning documentaries, you're going to fall short. I just think that when they have the opening scene, there's a level of cheese that's even too much for me. Like when they pan away from the Golden Gate Bridge and it's Joe Montana with his Skechers just like peering out and it's like under pressure. I'm like, it's fucking corny as fuck. And I love Joe Montana and I think the documentary is great, but that just the opening scene where they're using Under Pressure, which is a great song, but like documentaries have a great, TV shows and documentaries do a great job of finding those obscure songs that match. Under Pressure is just too much of an obvious song choice.
Well, I know he's one of your heroes, so I want you to know that even though it was underproduced, it didn't take away from his amazing story and his amazing career and his legacy. I still think he's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying it. So 2 episodes in,
Let's see
if that's what's amazing about it. His story's so great and he was so great that even poor production doesn't deter me from appreciating it, okay? But imagine what it could have been.
Yeah.
If packaged well and narrated properly and done the right way.
Well, you were saying that you and your...
That's the shame of it. But
You
it's
remember
still great.
one of your first childhood memories when you were like 4 or 5 years old was The Catch.
Yeah.
And you were my daughter's age, Emmy's age, when Dwight Clark caught that ball and you were saying you remember your family watching and flipping out.
Mm-hmm.
And they highlight that in episode 2.
Yeah.
And I thought just everything about that play, everything about what that meant.
Here's something I didn't know. I'm glad that's what I wanted to bring up. I'm glad you brought it up. I knew there was something I wanted to bring up aside from the narrator sucking. But the story holds its own. What I didn't know about The Catch was that this was a play that they ran over and over again.
It was like their go-to in the
And it was sort
back
of
of
like,
their head.
Yeah, a back of their head play that they drew up a million times. And it was meant to be thrown high in that way so that
Only Dwight Clark could catch it.
only Dwight Clark could catch it. And if not, then it just goes out of bounds, into the stands. I didn't know that they ran this. And they have footage of them going over the play and how Dwight Clark would run his route across the back. And they've run that play before, but they never threw to Clark in that play.
They would always throw to Freddie Solomon
That
underneath.
was the one time they threw it to Clark. So, yeah, the whole story and the backstory and the footage. And then they have actual footage of them practicing that. Like, it's pretty amazing. And then the perfect execution. That was amazing.
Know what I noticed also is that
Again, we're talking about The Catch against the Cowboys.
How just people talk and communicate. I know this sounds like an obvious ovation, as you would say, but you watch a coach now, like, I don't know, Kyle Shanahan talks to the Niners, or
T. Nelson.
Or Sean McVay talks to the Rams, or Belichick. Like, you see these post games, all these cool brothers are in a circle, like dancing, having fun, and the coach is like, all right, I got game balls. We fucking won. We did that. Back then, they were still like so old school. I know it was the late 70s, early 80s, but Bill Walsh was like, hands in his pockets, like, all right, we're going to win. Here, let's get, like, it was very like, see, we're going to get them. See, the team, see. Very old school. And it was, culture has changed so much in sports.
Spot, you know what else they highlight? The story of Rudy Rudiger.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Because they were on the right.
Joe
Yeah.
Montana was
He's
on
responsible.
that.
And didn't he
Notre
always
Dame
say
team.
that, like, it wasn't like that at all?
Yeah, and he alludes to that
He
as
makes
well.
fun of it, saying that,
that
like,
was
yeah,
bullshit. That was bullshit.
he doesn't call it bullshit. He says that, like,
Bullshit.
the guy, he sort of made it seem like the guys carried him off, like,
As a joke.
like making fun of him.
Oh, 'cause he
Not
was a little
knowing-
guy?
Not knowing that it would be like a,
Not knowing that no one had ever been carried off the field before. They're like, had we known that, maybe we wouldn't have done that.
Oh, shut up.
and Joe Montana had an injury. So the only reason Rudy had a spot on the roster was because Montana said, yeah, I'm ineligible. So if not for Montana being ineligible,
Yeah, I didn't know he was that prominent of a part. Why wouldn't they have featured that in the movie?
because
That's
I think
something they
it's
should have featured.
because in the
the
movie,
great Joe Montana's out, so Rudy gets his shot.
no, because it's a better story for the movie if all the players are like, I'm handing in my jersey if Rudy doesn't play. That's the whole
that
made up.
was the
whole made up part was
I know
every
that was
player
made
hands
up,
in.
but
Yeah.
that was how they got him to play.
Yeah, they
right?
got the whole way they got Rudy to play was all the players were like, if Rudy doesn't play, I'm not playing, coach.
This is for Rudy.
This is for Rudy.
For
This
Rudy.
is for Rudy.
No, but
for
he
Rudy.
did get the sack. Rudy got the
Rudy.
sack. They showed the clip.
For Rudy.
It was
And Montana said people ask him about Rudy so much, and it's fucking Joe Montana.
I know.
Really?
So, yeah,
Did we
he
ever
says
ask him about it? I don't
Yeah.
think so.
Because we knew that story.
I don't think we asked him about it.
I think we did.
I don't think so.
Well, Spot, play the beginning of the Montana documentary and just to see
I
if
don't
the
know if-
narrator is.
I don't know if it's visually going to show up, but we'll try.
Yeah, why not? Let's see.
Video.
Cool Under Pressure on Peacock. Joe Montana.
Play. Oh, play. Play button.
There you Joe Montana.
Oh yeah, it's not going to show the visual.
Joe Montana
Not going to show the
is
visual.
one of the greatest football players of all time. For decades, he was considered the GOAT of quarterbacks.
I'm like, who
Most
is it?
don't
Who is
know
it?
that
Like,
Joe Montana
who is
spent
that?
nearly his
I
entire
could see if
career
it was
being
someone
doubted.
significant. You know what I mean?
Do you hear it?
Joe was in high school. He was frail.
Is it Donald Trump?
Look at this skinny thing. They're going to hit him. He'll never
This is
get up.
Coach.
He was last
Yeah.
on the depth chart behind
Well,
two
anyway.
walk-ons.
I bring it up the second day in a row
You know-
only because I don't want it to go into the
You know
radar.
what's interesting? I think the world of narration and voiceovers is going the way of the average guy. So I think they were looking for like the average guy talking about Joe Montana.
I'm the average guy. I would have
Yeah,
done a
you
better
know,
job.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you would have been sounded too professional. I don't think they want professional. I think they want polished, but not professional.
Trying to figure out who this is. Anyway, it's noticeable. And like Rich said, it shouldn't be noticeable. It shouldn't take away from the story. It should add to the story.
I can find out.
Follow me? So, thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Alejandro. Thank you, Steve.
Who's Steve?
Definitely check it out.
I'm trying to see my self spot. IMDb.
Drake's in the
Yeah,
news.
that's what I'm looking up.
Henry Winkler's in the news. Just random stuff we're going to talk about. I got some personal gripes, but I'm thinking about saving it. Like maybe for a Sona of Rage, unless you want to hear it here.
I want to hear a little rage.
Nah, because I feel like you're going to take away from my story, not add to it. I feel like you're going to challenge it and make it like annoying.
Well, then let's definitely do it.
Yeah, it's
If we-
worth it.
by the way, if we had a life story, Mark in Colorado narrates. Here's the story of Covino and Rich.
Might as well. Might as well. You know what? We should have a story. We should. We were part of something cool. We were part of a new medium, satellite radio. We were the guys.
Yeah.
We were the OGs. And look at us now. So check it out. Enjoy it. That was my Tuesday night. Here we are, midweek, Covino and Rich.
Oh, one last football note before we move on. It'll be worth it. Spot to wrap all the football talk up for the people that are like, who cares about football? Like the two people that think that.
It's not even about that, though. It's a story. It's a
It's
great story.
about a documentary. It's a good
Someone's
story.
life. It's about their perseverance. And
Is it this guy?
Joe Montana was an incredible guy.
George.
I don't know. He stinks. Whoever narrates it stinks.
Look up
That's all I got to say.
Gronky on Instagram. Spot.
What about him?
They have the mic'd up of when Gronk got that one last catch. Gronk got his one last catch, and by getting that one last catch, he got $1 million bonus. And there's the footage that the NFL released where it's Gronk on the sideline. He's like, yo, Tommy, I need one more catch. He's like, you need one more catch, Gronky? Okay. And they go out, and then he catches the ball, and then he goes on the sideline. He's like, I got a milli. I got it. It's just so Gronk.
Well, the other highlight was like, if he doesn't get
What am I
this
looking at?
one
Sorry.
catch, he's going to have to get a regular job. If I don't get this one more catch, I'm going to have to get a regular job. So he gets his $1 million incentive, but you hear the players mic'd up. And then you hear him celebrating with his teammates, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's pretty
They're
fun.
happy for him, too. Would he have done that for AB? Yeah.
Yeah, he would have. He did
Yeah.
last year.
The truth is, yes,
He did last year.
despite what AB says. So,
Gronky.
football, getting ready for the playoffs. Enjoy your Tom Brady documentary, a well-produced story with horses and rhinos, leopards.
Sorry, what?
And then enjoy your underproduced Joe Montana documentary. Story just holds up on its own.
Yeah, here it is, Spot.
Terrible
Here.
narration.
There you go.
I need one more. Yeah. If I don't get the 7th catch, I have to go get a real job.
All we got to see is Gronkowski get his catch here.
What does that mean? Cha-ching. Gronkowski has his catch bonus.
Tom, good pass, dog. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, dog.
You just got a milli?
Yeah, I got a
You
milli.
just got a milli?
Oh, I got a milli. We going. Where we going?
To the city.
Yeah, we going.
Like, I mean-
we going to the city.
After watching the Tom Brady documentary, you realize how loose they are in Tampa compared to New England?
Big time.
I can't wait to see the next episode because they'll probably talk about that transition.
Yeah, I mean, it's the obvious difference for sure. I mean, we see it with Tom Brady on social media, period. You never saw that side of Tom Brady.
It's hard to...
For 20 years, we never saw that side of Tom Brady.
It's hard to hate Gronk. I agree. He's so fucking goofy.
And he's great.
Such a goofy.
It's hard, and he's great.
How do you not like Gronk? Like, to be... Yeah, I hate Gronk. How do you hate Gronk? And by the way, speaking of Tom Brady, sorry I'm all over the place.
He's a meathead.
Sorry I'm all over the place. My ADHD
a
is...
lovable meathead.
Is blazing like the girl from The Bachelor. You see Tom Brady he debuted his new fashion line?
I knew that.
Are you interested? He posted a first post where he's like, "Hey everyone, the rumor's true. I got some clothes," and he's like, "Check out these cool shades and polo shirt." Like, did you see that or no?
Are they available at Target?
Well, look at TB12's Instagram spot, and then we'll move on poignantly from this.
I saw our buddy Steve Ward rocking something.
Tom Brady sunglasses.
Was it?
Yeah,
his sunglasses.
I'll think about it. His wife's the most famous model in the world in her prime, and he's Tom Brady. So, I mean, why not have a men's clothing line?
You notice in the most recent documentary, they show some B-roll like behind the scenes. He's like, "Yeah, this jacket looks good with the shirt." Yeah,
made me think of you.
Yeah,
he's like, "Yeah, this jacket. You guys like this jacket?
It looks good, right? Yeah, it looks good." So he cares about. I mean, it's definitely a part of his life.
So is it like
it's his first post spot? You go
I
to his most
know,
recent?
but I'm looking through the clothes.
Oh yeah, that
Brady
first clip.
brand.
That first clip is where he talks about it.
Brady.
Oh wait.
Officially the day after 3 years in the making, Brady brand is officially launched. You guys can shop our first drop, release one on bradybrand.com. Listen, I'm proud to bring this to all you guys looking for clothing that performs across all of your daily active lives. Every item's unique, it's innovative, and it's got great function and purpose. These are pieces I loved, I've always wanted them, and now they're finally here. And there's a reason look good, play good is a cliche. Brady brand's gonna make you guys feel your best. This is the beginning. I can't wait to share what's next, and I'm gonna take you guys on this journey with us. So I can't wait to see you guys in Brady. Post your pictures and tag Brady Brand on Instagram. Let's have some fun. Let's go.
I'm doing it. I'm a fan. Fuck it.
You're gonna spend $175 on a hoodie.
Dude, I'm a fan of Tom Brady.
But look at his main. Look at his
I'll
personal Instagram is where he does the
I root
announcement.
for the guy.
This is the same. It's the same video.
No, it's not. It's not the same video.
I think that's great because there's life after football for the guy. He's moving forward, and Rich is absolutely right. Don't downplay shit that he knows. He's married to a fashion model. He absorbs this shit. Probably always liked it, and he fucking owns it.
On Tom Brady's spot. Go to Tom Brady's main page.
I think Tom Brady's main page.
Go to his other post. Maybe it's like one ago. Dude. Yeah, the one with the sunglasses right there.
This one.
Yeah. Okay. This is where he announces it.
A clothing company now. Sick, right? It's called Brand Brady, and I can't wait for everyone to see it themselves. Naturally, this means I have to start making TikToks in my closet now. Somewhere downstairs, my wife's rolling her eyes. Whatever. We're gonna get ready for this weekend's game. I rocked our Storm Shifter jacket in New York last week. It was a little cold there, so it's perfect. But in Tampa,
sweet shades.
I like those. I'm gonna get those.
Nice watch.
Shotgun on those shades.
Shadow polo.
I'm not a polo guy.
Oh,
you know what? He makes it look good.
It works on the golf course. Works on date night. It's gonna be sustainable, cruelty-free. That's our promise to you. We're doing it right over here. Grab a pair of shoes, and there it is, live and in person. I got to start working blue steel and blue shots. Went out and got the win. Playoff time, baby.
You need some of that fucking.
So the secret's out.
I'm a fan. If you don't like Tom Brady, then you and I are not the same cat. I understand how he's hateable, but he's hateable because he's great.
What are the shirts we promoted? I forget. Is it?
No, Fresh Clean Tees.
Fresh Clean Tees. You need some of those.
I'm wearing one right now. This is a Fresh Clean Tee.
You need some of those.
Fresh Clean Tees.
Did you see how sloppy that polo looked on him? He's a fucking picture of
I think it looked
athleticism.
Good. I think it looked
and it looks sloppy on him.
Stud, man.
That polo looks sloppy on him.
Hate on him they're just envious. That's really all it is. But it did make me think of something else because I will get those shades. I will.
Let's see.
Are there other brands?
This is a bit pricey for fucking casual shit.
I agree, but it's high end. It's Tom Brady,
Cool touch short sleeve, $75.
Functional and fashionable, and they have cool names like Storm Shifter.
Tom Brady's
What's your jacket called?
An engineered knit beanie. Who's it engineered by? By NASA?
Maybe
for $50.
Oh, they got a nice beanie.
Oh man.
I like it. Function and
I thought
fashion.
our shit was expensive.
Donnie Pompadour should buy that shit. I see
What?
the
He's going to buy
shit he's wearing.
this $250 Storm Shifter vest?
Yeah.
I want the Storm Shifter.
I need
that for $65.
All right, let me see that vest because I realized that my vest, I lost it. Let me see it. Let me see that vest.
This vest?
Yeah, how much is that vest?
$250.
I need that.
You ain't paying $250.
That's an overpriced
get
vest.
that fucking Tom Brady discount. Hit him up. So anyway, it made me think of some other stuff because I'll get some of that. I'll buy at least one thing to support Tom Brady. Because
because he needs your support.
No, because he's an inspiration.
He's an inspiration.
Bro. He is. He is to me.
Yeah.
You know why I watched that shit?
You know why I watch Joe Montana? For his inspiration.
But why do you think I'm watching Joe Montana? Why do you think I'm watching Tom Brady? That shit inspires me.
It inspires.
And if I could take a little piece of that, even if it's subconscious, into my fucking everyday, you would think it would do more. But, imagine if I didn't watch it.
If you need a piece of clothing that says his name on it to inspire you, then you have issues.
I think he's a good dude.
Yeah, but he's inspirational spot.
Wait, let him be
Why
inspired.
do people buy shit that has a Kardashian label on it? Why do people buy stuff that has a Chrissy Teigen thing? Or why do people buy Yeezys or Kanye shit?
Because they're dumb.
They're dumb, but it's $1 billion industry, but they're dumb.
Tom Brady's a winner, man. And I want a piece of that.
You guys aren't exactly the pictures of fashion that you need to have fucking name brands on your body.
I want a piece of that winning vibe. Whatever we could do to get ahead. Whatever gives us the edge. I'm bringing it back to the early 2000s Patriots. The edge, bro.
The edge.
I want the edge. So it made me think of something else. Are there brands that you hear about all the time just based on good viral marketing that you're curious? I'm not going to ever buy them, but you know what I always hear? Like, I'll give you the example. The example that always comes to mind for me is I can't tell you how many times I've heard somebody say, either through social media or a friend or, just word of mouth, that the Dude brand, those Dude brand shoes are like the most comfortable, best thing they ever had ever. Are there other brands like that stand out to you? Like through word of mouth, they're like, yeah, I don't buy that. I don't rock that, but I've heard nothing but great things about it. Like, do you know what I'm talking about? Those Dude shoes? Dude shoes. They're like Sanooks, but like more fashionable.
I've never seen Dude shoes.
Are they called Dude shoes?
Yeah, never.
Bro, I can't tell you how many times people have like given me a screaming fucking no, people I know.
Is it Hey Dude shoes?
Hey Dude? I thought that was a show on
Hey
Nickelodeon.
Dude.
Yeah.
Hey Dude.
I thought it was a song by Elvis Crespo.
Yeah, I didn't know that was. I think it's Dude.
I gotta hear it.
Not Dude wipes. Those shoes.
I've never seen such a
Bro,
thing.
they look like something you would wear. Now, I can't get past the brand name Dude.
Hey Dudes.
Or even Hey Dude.
They're the
whatever
modern
it
day
is.
Crocs, says Adam.
Yes. Hey Dude. But they're more stylish.
Hey Dude.
Sorry. Oh, wait, you want to hear it?
But I can't tell you the raving endorsements that I hear from friends and people that I know and who love this brand, but I can't get past the name. Like, I have a lot of people that I know, hey dude, that swear by that brand and swear by their comfort. And not only do they swear by it, they're like, best I've ever owned. And I'm like, that's a pretty big endorsement.
Is it these shoes?
Yeah, people love them, bro.
Hey Dude.
They're called Hey Dude?
Hey Dude shoes.
Oh, it makes me like them even less because I think of that
I mean, they look comfy as
that
fuck.
vaguely Mexican guy on
They
the
really,
show.
they really
Nickelodeon.
do look comfortable as possible.
I can't believe you, of all people, never heard of
I'll
them.
buy it. I'm looking them up later. Hey Dude.
Have our people reach out to these people.
Let me tell you.
What are they? Hey
I've
Dude?
heard like the most rave reviews
You can get black.
about this brand being the best
Gray,
shoe they've
white.
ever owned from people I know. People you know.
What is it called? Hey Dude?
Hey Dude.
All right, I'll look it up later. Hey Dude.
Hey
I mean,
Dude
$60 for a
shoe.
pair of comfy like shoes. That's perfect.
Free shipping on us. Look at that.
Look at that. All right, I'll check it out.
I'm always amazed by it. I'm
I'll
like,
let you know
yeah,
if
if
they
they weren't
suck.
called Hey Dude, I might be interested.
How would that be even?
Not my style.
But how would
I'm
the
interested
name
to
bother
see.
you?
I'm just impressed. Put it this way: at the word of mouth endorsements that brand gets, because there's something to be said about that. When people rave about things like that,
The only
to me
brand
that means a lot more than some commercial I see over and over again.
These do look incredibly comfortable.
they look
Bro.
comfortable and
I
truthfully,
honestly,
I
want
can't
a
tell
pair.
you how many times I heard. I
they-
can't believe you guys don't know about it.
I'll get a pair and I'll let you know if they suck or not. Hey Dude, they're $60. I'll buy one right after the show today.
Look at Franz. I rock I know the birds, all birds. Doesn't your brother rock
These look
that?
so comfortable.
Yeah, I'll be honest, Spot. I think I want a pair.
Bro,
I do too.
I've heard nothing but amazing things about that brand.
They look like
I don't think I could rock them, but I'm intrigued
Yeah.
just
You can.
based on what I heard about
I think
them.
those are pretty. Spot. I think you and I, they're more our style than Covino,
Look at
but they
that.
look comfy as
No, they look like old school Wu-Tang Wallabies a little bit.
Hey Dude.
But they say, hey, dude. I don't like
Who
that.
cares that says Hey Dude on it?
I don't want to be associated with dude.
Well, you're the king of the dude
I
parades.
know.
from back
So
in
I
the
think
day.
I'm allergic to it now. Hey, dude. Hey, dude is not a cool brand name. I agree, Andrew.
Andrew Hart.
It's like,
I can't argue that, but I mean, whatever. So does Sanuk sound cool?
Better
Does
than Hey Dude.
Birkenstock sound cool?
Toms.
Does Tom sound good? Does fucking honestly, what does
I'm
Nike mean?
amazed-
Nike's just a name you know.
I'm amazed that you never heard of those.
Adidas. All right. Well, there's only one brand to answer your question, and then we'll move on.
Like based on word of mouth.
Yeah, the only word of mouth. I'm being serious. The only word of mouth that has got me very, very intrigued. Two things, and one of them we got, which was Fresh Clean Tees, but I like the other brand better. What's the other brand?
True Classic.
True Classic. One of them. Yeah,
Really?
those like fitted T-shirts that they do make your body look more cut. Like I rock one of those T-shirts, and this is not an advertisement because I think I like the one better. The one I like better is not the one that we fucking did the promo code for. What is it?
We did Fresh Clean Tees.
Not that one.
True Classics.
True Classics.
Yeah.
Were they fit around your shoulders and chest very like nicely, but not too snug.
They're like my brother's idea. Huggies.
Huggies.
They hug all the right spots.
So I think those are dope. And I heard Spot, and this is not because someone else said it, but I always say when people from different parts of your life say the same thing.
Look what Michael Hapner's saying. I know several people with the Hey Dudes. They can't say enough about them.
That's funny, but you can't look past the name.
Dude, anyone that has these, they want to tell. It's almost like a weird Ponzi scheme. It's like people get them and they want to sell you on how great they are. I'm like, all right, yeah, I heard about Hey Dudes.
You know who's good at trying these things? Our buddy Drew Mack.
Yeah,
that dude's got disposable income. But
No,
Drew Mack's the type of guy where he's like, yeah, I saw a cool website that sells dope looking jackets. I'll buy one to let you know. And then he'll be like, no, these suck. No, these are awesome. Like Drew Mack's a good sample.
I'm into it. I just don't want to spend the money on it.
The last one I'll give a shout out to. Again, no advertisements. These people are doing nothing for us yet.
So True Classics.
True Classics.
Hey Dudes.
Hey Dudes.
Where again, the product just speaks for itself, kind of.
You're gonna throw yourself in the mix on this one, but in my mind, I associate Spot with it. Our buddy Sean, but then my buddy Zach, who I play softball with, I was like, "Yo, those are sweet sunglasses. What are these?" He's like, "Oh, they're Shady Rays. He goes, they're pretty cheap, and like if you break them, they'll like replace them, and they're really good. So Shady Rays, I gotta get a pair. Those are
nothing. That's all Spot and Sean Wyman.
Well, I told you about
Sean
that.
Wyman.
And Sean got them, and you.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I was sold on the.
You never listen
advertisements.
You never take my word at face value. You always wait for someone else. That's okay.
Isn't that what everyone does?
No, it's specifically me.
Like people.
How do you not? But what do you not understand? All right, Covino. If I said, Yo, Covino, you should check out Yellow Jackets. And then if fucking your buddy Mark hit you up and he goes, yo, Cove, I think you would love Yellow Jackets. And then if Sean Wyman or one of your other buddies like, hey, bro, you know what you like?
Yeah, but
you're trying to tell me.
Drew Max sends you one text and you're like, okay, buddy.
No, not at all.
Whatever you say, sounds great.
Well, Drew Max, more stylish than you.
Drew Mac, anyone is more stylish than either of you.
Why do I got to get pulled into this?
Yeah, how is he unstylish?
I'm wearing Lululemons, bro.
Oh, yeah. Let's see your nuts again.
I'm wearing fucking $180 pants.
So I think
that's the fucking picture of style.
Got him on
fucking Brady
on sale,
with your $250 Brady vest.
Whatever, bro.
Well,
I'm not wearing Hey Dudes like you. Hey
Yeah.
Dudes.
I mean, when we were on television, we were wearing, nice
Yeah, because
clothes.
someone else was paying for it.
Yeah, but that's called what everyone does, Spot. Everyone in that world. You think people on television buy their own clothes? You think the suits that
welcome to real life where we're all buying our own clothes.
Yeah,
so
but
we're
I'm
not
saying,
spending $250 on a fucking vest.
So you can be stylish when you want to be when it matters. When you go to
Someone
a
gave
wedding
me-
or
if
an
someone
event
gave
or
me $1
something.
million bucks.
Like someone said something yesterday. So we put on
I
our
look
Instagram.
like fucking gold.
Someone put on our Instagram
Gold.
story. Someone's like, "What is Rich wearing? Sweatpants and slippers?" I was like, "I'm at my house. What the fuck do you wear at your house?" Like someone's like, "Are you wearing slippers and sweats?" I'm like, "Yeah, I was on the side of my house picking a fucking lemon off my lemon tree for Covino."
Here's Rich mailing it in.
Yeah,
Here's
yeah.
Rich.
So yeah, that's what someone said. They go, "What is Rich mailing in? He's wearing sweats and
Here's my
slippers."
impression of Rich.
What
Mailing it in.
on earth do you wear at your house? I was like, "What do you wear? Fucking dress pants and
I think to wrap up
Yeezys
the conversation,
in your yard?"
the Shady Rays is a great example, and here's why. And it goes along with what Spot says. I'm going to see if I could tie this in properly because I'm losing my thought as I babble.
Fucking babbler.
It speaks for itself, meaning it sells itself. I think everybody makes a purchase and they like to pretend like their purchase was the best purchase, right? I do that all the time. Everything I own is a bad boy. Look at this OtterBox. Check out this bad boy. Text my phone. Phone never cracked. This OtterBox. Check out this bad boy. It's a great investment. Everyone likes to justify their purchase as the best. At least I do. Yo, these Lululemons, bro, best ever, right? But I think that when you hear it so many times over and over again, it does say something about the product, right?
Yeah.
So Shady Rays is another one. Spot was like, dude, I love this brand. They're stylish. They're cheap. They have great customer service. You see the advertisements and people are giving great reviews. Then our buddy Sean Wyman comes in and he's rocking them too. I'm like, what are those? Those are Shady Rays. It's not that Spot's opinion means any less. That's what Rich is saying. He's saying that one more person validated it.
He's just trying to argue because Spots. That's his gimmick. He likes to argue.
Right. No, because you think that I just like arbitrarily choose things.
No, but
for
like
me to buy something.
I get it. You're trying to be argumentative on purpose.
I do a fucking shit ton of research before I buy something. I look up reviews.
But if you can't simply understand, that 3 people from different parts of my life, that to me is like great confirmation. If you are super agent and my buddy I play softball with, we're all rocking glasses. I'm like, oh, those are nice. Where are they? And you, Sean, and my buddy Zach are all like, oh, Shady Rays.
It's not good enough for you.
Yeah, no,
it's not.
If one person told me about Hey Dudes, I'd never bring it up. It's the fact that so many people scream and cheer for this brand.
That's what that company. That's what that company loves to hear.
Yeah, it's like, wait, you love this brand so much that you're like cheering about it. Like that says something to me.
If one guy said to you, no, you should check out Covino and Rich. Those guys are fucking funny. And then one of your other buddies from work came up to you and goes, yo, you looking for a new podcast?
Right.
Yo, have you heard of Covino and Rich? That second person would be like, well, hold on now. 2 people I know that I respect.
It's a good brand.
Like, here's how I operate. Like, I'll shout him out because he loves making fun of me. Mauser.
Yeah.
Have we done our daily Mauser mention?
I mean, that guy is probably our funniest,
Mauser
wittiest listener.
Is a dude from Kentucky. And if he said to me, hey, bro, you got to try this bourbon, I would immediately be like, trust you. Like Handsome Gabe. Handsome Gabe loves bourbons. If he said, Spot, I got this bourbon last week.
But it's not
fantastic.
about
You love
discounting it.
You know what? I try it. Because I value someone's opinion who decides to tell me something and reach out to me.
But hold on, it's not that I wouldn't value Mauser's opinion.
I don't need 10 people in my life telling me, oh, you got to try this bourbon. Oh, you got to try this bourbon.
See, that's the thing. I'm with Covino. If Mauser
Let me tell you, bourbon's as much as a pair of shoes.
If Mauser said, try this bourbon.
He planted a seed.
And then if all of a sudden my buddy Josh was like, hey, I'm into bourbon, and he names the same one Mauser said, Covino's saying that's when you get your confirmation. That's the whole point of marketing and word of mouth and everything.
And these are all brands that I am not a consumer of, but I've heard nothing but great things about Hey Dude, Shady Rays, True Classics, same thing. My brother loves those too.
Yeah, they're better than the fresh, clean tea.
My brother buys fresh, wet teas.
Fresh, wet.
But
I thought he had a brand called Huggies that like hugged his chest.
And someone said Covino has a problem with the brand name Hey Dudes, but wears Lululemons.
Lululemons are an established. They're a publicly traded company.
I do have a problem with the name, though. I hate the name. I think it's corny.
You got Lulu oranges.
I got Lulu melons in my pants.
Lulu melons.
So anyway, I've wanted to bring up the Hey Dude stuff for a minute, but I've never had a really good angle. Tom Brady has a new brand line, new fashion line. If it's good, we'll let you know. But I think there's something to be said about people, really standing for a specific brand. And I've never been that guy.
Social media dominates this now.
Mm-hmm.
Much like the comment I made yesterday. Yes, I agree, Andrew Hart. Yeah, Rich is about the masses rather than a personal recommendation because the masses...
Trend follower, not trendsetter.
The masses will tell you. Yes, Andrew, I think he thinks that's an insult.
I think you're both right. I think you're both right because
you'd rather be like behind the curve than with or ahead of the curve, and that's okay.
That has like zero to do with this conversation. Behind the curve versus ahead of the curve, because I want my recommendations to get confirmation. Hey, Covino.
For me, it's just a matter. Sometimes it just doesn't sink in.
A guy called me the other day out of nowhere. Hey, my name's Kipper Patterson. Hey, what's up, man? Yes, I'm just getting referrals for your contractor. That's why people get referrals, and that's why people get recommendations. That's why there's Yelp reviews. Hey, if you want, this is a great example to shut you up. If you're looking up Yelp reviews or product reviews,
yeah.
If you're on Amazon and you're looking or shopping for something, and something has no reviews and something else has 100 reviews and it has 5 stars.
In today's world of online stuff, 100%.
Ask Jordan.
I understand that. But then if you said to me, hey, Spot, try this restaurant in Sherman Oaks where you live.
Yeah. It would be on your radar.
I would make a mental note.
I went there. It was great, and it has great Yelp reviews. I would say yes. One recommendation.
Yeah, but
from
you know what's really getting you off your ass though? If you hear that another time and another time, that's all. Saying.
We're arguing in circles.
It's not discounting
that's the same
your
point.
review.
If Spot goes, I went to that new Mexican place on Ventura, I'd say, oh, cool. And you're right. I would note it. And then if I went to softball, or I went and I saw my buddy Sean, or if I went to talk to Emmy's teacher, and Emmy's teacher's like, oh, what are you doing tonight? Going out to dinner. There's this great new Mexican place on Ventura. If you get that double confirmation, what do you not understand about the double confirmation?
Like you act like most times I bring things to you, me personally, bring things to you. I'm not bringing you like fucking independent movies that no one's ever fucking heard of.
No, that's like every time we talk about
or fucking brands that have one sale that are like on Etsy. I'm like, oh, I found these sunglasses on Etsy. You got to try them.
By the way,
these are established things that I bring to the circle.
All right, from now on,
and when I bring them to the circle, that should be good enough.
All right, my new strategy.
You need 30 other people to confirm what other people are.
All right. No, hold on. I'm writing it down so I remember it. New strategy. Trust Spot. No matter what. Hold on. Let me new strategy. Blind faith.
There are a lot of times I agree with what Spot's saying, but I feel like almost in the middle of this conversation because the brands I brought up aren't even things I would buy.
Your opinion holds more weight. I'm just saying because this is going on for too long. What?
So does my body.
You look good. I think your opinion holds.
Because I'm on an
I like your shirt, Spot.
I'm on an opioid binge.
I like that colors on that shirt.
Oh, it's from the Desert Trip concert.
I like that.
Your opinion holds more weight, but let's fucking finalize this. I'm just saying I think most people could agree that the double confirmation, if Melody's school teacher, that when you pick up Melody from school and one of the other parents is like, oh, it's really great, this place I brought the kids, you'd be like, oh, noted. And then if you talk to another parent and it's how is it? Come on.
Sometimes it just takes a minute to sink in. And then in Spot's defense, though, some people's opinion holds more weight.
By the way, I do have that note somewhere. Austin wants to know, do I still have my, quote, no longer hang with Spot socially note? I made it at SiriusXM back in the day.
Oh, nice,
yeah,
nice.
No longer
we don't hang out socially.
Nice.
Yeah.
Does Spot's opinion hold any water? Yes.
This isn't about me.
No. Well, Gabe's asking. Gabe Moreno, what's up? He's asking. Again, this conversation has gone so many different places.
Yeah, I know. But that's okay.
No, it has. I'm just trying to make sense of it
unfolding.
now. Because, again, that Hey Dude brand, I wouldn't wear those shoes, really. I really wouldn't.
Stop saying that because I'm going to reach out to them.
Do it.
I mean, I'd rock them as like house shoes.
House shoes?
For sure.
Out and about.
I'd rock them.
It's not my style.
I wish I had
It's
them
not
on
my
right
style.
now.
All right, that's fine.
But I would rock them, I would totally rock them as far as comfort and house shoes and whatever, right?
What do you mean house shoes?
I need
Like
slip-on
house
shoes.
They're like slippers, kind of.
Oh, so okay.
Yeah, like a patio, just like around the house.
I can't tie my shoes.
Like that's not even a brand that I would really rock, but
just break out the Tootsies. Don't worry.
But it spoke volumes to me when I heard several endorsements about them, or when I read who I saw write about him recently, my buddy Brian McFadden, right? Who we both know. He's a VJ, MTV host guy.
And it's also who it comes from. Brian's a cool guy.
Yeah, but he was like, oh, dude, the best gift my son could have bought me. I really needed another pair of these. Best shoes ever. And I'm like, but I've heard that like time and time again from other people. And I'm like, there's something about those. They must be really good. I wouldn't wear them, but I made that note. Oh, this must be a quality product.
I'll give you one that people always reach out to us for. And I'll give you the honest right now.
But hold on. But to back up your point, Brian was just the threshold that said to me, yeah, they're probably really good. And that gift meant a lot to him because it was from his son.
Yeah.
It's not that the other people's opinions didn't matter. Collectively, it just mattered more.
Oh, yeah. Fuck. I forgot what I was going to say. What was I just saying?
Another product.
Oh, people reach out to us all the time. And I'll give you the honest review right now because we have nothing to lose right now.
Yeah, nothing.
I don't like my sleep number bed. Covino likes his sleep number bed, and I think Spot loves his sleep number bed. I would never spend that much money on a sleep number bed in my life.
I would never spend that much money on my bed either.
However, I would never spend that much money on my bed, but I got it for free.
I like it, but when people are like, hey, bro, should I get a sleep number bed? I always, and I never lied to people, by the way. When we were doing endorsements for SiriusXM, I'd always say, Yo, it's a good bed. Now, do you like to recline, incline, decline?
It's a $10,000 bed.
Well, not all of them. Some of them are like three
The
or four.
one
Like,
we have is $10,000.
My mother-in-law got one. It was like $4,000.
Yeah.
It goes like, do you do the holiday sale? And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, Cindy, that's a lot of money.
Honestly, for ergonomics, meaning if you like to go like raise your feet a little bit or sit up, it's great. Like having that option has saved me.
Yeah.
I think Sleep Number bed's good, but I would never spend the money on it.
Exactly.
They're good. I don't use the functions. I don't need a fucking incline,
Well, that's
decline.
part of it. Like Jordan, for example, uses her
foot warmer.
I use my foot warmer.
That's ridiculous.
No, she
I'm hot
uses
every night.
What's it called? Sleep IQ.
Never even touched it.
swear
Never even
to
signed
God.
up. Never even
use
signed
it.
up for it.
Yeah,
I'm
so
like,
it's a
ridiculous.
matter of like
I use it, but it doesn't affect how I sleep how I sleep. I'm not going to change.
You're ruining my sleep IQ because you woke me up 3 times last night. It's like I'm sleeping at 70%. I'm like, you really care about that shit?
That's odd.
Again, it depends on your priorities
But yeah,
and the type of
like
person
Renee,
you are.
some people think it's
But I
an
still wouldn't
overpriced
pay.
air mattress.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay that much for it. But I do like mine.
But you know what? I trust your opinion because you've used it.
Yeah.
And you know you have somewhat of a knowledge about it.
agreed.
Like
when people ask me, because people do ask me,
What
we
products?
sponsored us for so long, I tell them, yo, I like my bed a lot, but it's really pricey.
Like, I don't like it enough to pay that money. I'll tell you what I do like. Of all our old advertisements, overpriced. See, here's another thing I love, but they're overpriced. So I don't think I would buy them. Bombas socks.
I love them.
Oh, they're great.
They're the best socks I've ever had.
Yeah.
But they're like $20 a pair. Yeah. No thanks.
Just like I love we got Saks. I love them. But they're a little pricey.
Saks underwear too expensive.
Too
By the way,
expensive.
the ones that Vic sent us,
Oh,
the
you tried them?
Hanyes,
I haven't tried
I
them
tried them, and you're gonna roll your eyes.
They're not my rotation.
You're gonna roll your eyes, but hear me out before you like go, oh yeah, you're a fucking package. I think the pouch is a little smaller than the sacks, like because if you have a fucking bigger balls, I'm saying if you have a bigger sack,
Rich has huge balls.
Yeah, he does.
but I'm saying like the pouch in the Hanes ones, they didn't hold your package like the Saks ones. The little snug in there.
So in conclusion,
Yeah.
Vic and Toronto has a small sack.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That's what I got.
And the last one, the best thing we have ever endorsed at SiriusXM that I vouch for 100%.
That's kind of where I was going with this conversation.
What do I endorse 100%?
I
Of
don't know
all
what.
the live reads, the Wiper Blades, Rangers I Love, those are good and all.
By the way,
they're great.
I fully vouch for those.
Yeah, they're good. but I mean,
I actually went out and bought them because they didn't send me any. I went out and bought them, and they're fantastic.
yeah, they're good. I
They
mean,
just
it doesn't
wipe everything away.
rain. It doesn't rain in Southern California, so
I bought them
not
last week.
applicable. It rained for like 2 weeks of the year.
Yeah, it's great.
Wiper Blades were good. That's not the one
What
I'm
about
talking
when you
about.
got dirt on your windshield? Do you need to?
Yeah, I know. One time. Doesn't matter. The one thing I loved more than anything that we endorsed over the years of our show. Sherry's Berries.
Fantastic.
The chocolate covered strawberries.
Yeah.
Yo, I ordered those a few times on my own.
They're really
like just
good.
outside of the show, like outside of free passes and free. Like I would be like, yo, they are so fucking
All right.
good.
Those-
to wrap up the conversation, think of
Never.
one product
Those
in your home.
never disappointed. Their partner. They're the same brand as Pro Flowers. Pro Flowers was very hit or miss.
Yeah,
to be
but by
honest.
the way, half the time, my grandmother, rest in peace, would be like, Richie, they're beautiful. And then other times, my aunt would call me and be like, yeah, they came and some of them were dead. And I'm like,
I remember I sent my mom tulips once, and they showed up and they were like pretty much all dead.
hey, Spot, what's better than roses on a piano?
Tulips on my organ, Rich.
Oh!
That's a good one.
Wait, thank you for telling that joke after I talked about my mother.
Oh man,
Dude,
cold-blooded.
bro.
Give me a little Elvis Crespo to fucking lighten the mood. Hey, dude.
Hey, dude.
I want to go around the room. Ready?
Hey, dude. Hey, dude.
To wrap up the conversation, again, we're talking about like word of mouth endorsements that eventually you just can't deny. Like, there's something to be said about that. Started with the Hey Dude brand shoe.
You also have to trust.
Hold on, I want to go around the room and think of one item from your house that you're like, man, I was really proud of that purchase.
Okay.
Because it really was worth the money.
You know what?
I got 2 things that come to mind for all of us.
I'm going to get
Number
a
one
coffee refill.
Yeah,
While
sure.
I get a coffee refill, I'm going to take a look around for
do
10
that.
seconds,
Do
come
that.
back, and
You know what? As you go get a coffee refill, your Burr grinder. I think
that's a great one.
you're a Burr.
I was going to say my Nespresso.
Oh, my Nespresso.
I think, and it's really like Jordan's,
You know what's interesting?
but it's a fantastic product, I think.
Here's something you didn't listen to me on.
What?
That Ninja Foodie
Yeah.
that you got, you thought it was too big and clunky, but it folds up. I think it's a fantastic item for any
Don't tell me that.
kitchen
Jordan's
counter.
gonna be mad. We returned
I
it.
know, and I completely disagree. I use that shit for everything. I barely use my stove anymore or my oven, which generates a lot of heat and uses a lot of energy. That little thing you can fit a mini pizza in it. You can air fry in it. You can
so a great product.
Air roast, bake in it. Yeah, it gets a little messy, but for we needed a toaster oven, so I'm like, let's just invest in this. It does a lot of other shit. A little bit more expensive, but it's a great product. That is something that I recommended to you because you asked me, and I said, bro, keep it. It's great.
Yeah. It just felt too big for our space.
But I would recommend that. It's cool.
Nespresso, I think, is a great product, a great brand.
Nespresso's great.
I think they make you feel like you're part of something exclusive. I think everything about it is fucking awesome. And I have one of the little cheap espresso ones. Great product, and it works so fast.
Someone messaged or posted on our Carl page how they got an espresso because they used to use Keurig. Keurig is coffee piss. Do not get a Keurig.
No, an espresso's way better.
It doesn't matter how, if you just want a single serve, whatever. Keurig is coffee piss. Do not do that to yourself.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Also, the cups are very wasteful. But someone said like they got an espresso and they just don't like the fact that it just brews like shots of espresso. It does do bigger cups.
Lungo, bro.
Lungo. I get where if you're just like a regular coffee cup drinker, like you like a huge cup of coffee, you're better off just sticking with a regular coffee pot. But grind your own beans. That's much better.
And I was gonna say, universally,
everyone sells
this
whole
is
coffee.
Welcome to the earlier 2000s. But Rich and I were forced to get AirPods.
I wrote it down on my list.
We were forced to get them for ESPN
Pros.
Yeah, AirPod Pro. AirPod
my sister
Pros.
Dawn got me a pair, and it changed my life. They're the best fucking things that I ever had in my life. I mean, the game changer.
I'll be honest, I would never have bought them.
Yeah.
And ESPN's like, we're gonna buy you AirPod Pros. So I was like, all right, cool, I'll use them. And now, I'm talking, if I walk around the block to make a phone call, or if I just do anything, I'm like, I only pop in one of them. I'm like,
fantastic product.
AirPod Pros, I would never have bought them. I did, and they're fucking great. I would buy them.
Put it this way, if I lost mine, I'd have to go get a new pair.
I know there's other brands. To me, the AirPods are garbage because they sit in your ear and they can easily fall out. AirPod Pros have a little nubbin on the end. If you have ears like me, you need to buy the separate tips. There's a little hot tip. You can buy those on Amazon.
My wife has the Bose ones, and I don't think they're as good.
They're not as good?
I don't like them.
Well, I just throwing out that endorsement. That's all. Free endorsements here on the Covino and Rich Show. Some hold more weight. Some put you over the threshold. We got a lot out of this discussion. There you go. There you have it.
Any other final ones? I have one more. It's a household item because,
I love my TV.
Yeah, you know what? I'm sure eventually, as I smarten up this house, as Spot keeps telling me, you should get a smart this or a smart that. I think
smart switches.
Eventually I'll get smart switches. But I like to set I have my dimmers just the way I like them. I know you could do that on your phone, but I have them the way I like them anyway. So I don't.
You ever have a pair of Sanooks?
No.
I got a free pair one time. I rocked those things for years. They were great.
The thing I do. There's two kitchen items that. At first I was like, we don't need that, and then when you have it, you're like, oh, that's great.
KitchenAid.
The KitchenAid blender. I was like, man, do we really need a big ass blender? And I know they're expensive and everyone likes it. The mixer, whatever it is. The big blender mixer thing.
The mixer.
Honestly, every time Sarah bakes anything or makes anything, or I was making holiday cookies with Emmy.
So that.
When I was making Christmas cookies, like just for that alone, I was like, imagine mixing all this fucking.
They're
like,
a necessity.
They're fantastic. Yeah.
Do you know that? So, my little cupcake thing with Maria.
Yeah.
Every year I go over. I'm like, do you have a mixer? She's like, no. I'm like, okay. So we use the hand mixers. This year, because of our annual thing for Christmas, she got a mixer.
Oh,
and
really?
She sent me a photo. She's like, look what I got.
Oh, awesome. I was gonna tell you should buy her one, but then I'm like, she wouldn't even appreciate her to use it. But that would.
No, but she got one. Yeah, someone gave it to her. She was so excited about it.
The other thing, if you're redoing your kitchen or anything, I never thought I would fucking love this because Sarah's like, let's get this one, and I'm like, my answer is always like stubborn guy, like, do we need that?
Same.
Every guy's like that, right? Dad, do we need that? I feel like Spot's the opposite. I feel like Spot's like, spend money, whatever. Who cares? Buy it all.
I like stuff, but I like stuff with purpose.
Yeah, but you're the guy that would have 0.0 in your bank account, but have every fucking doodad.
That's not true. I have quite a lot of money in my bank account.
Yeah,
and I still buy stuff that I like.
But I'm saying if you were in a scenario,
I have control. So
you would know when to stop.
I buy things with purpose.
The one thing that I love more than anything that I didn't think I would.
Man ass.
I bought some little twink from the and man, I fucked the shit out of him. Man ass.
One thing I bought. It's interesting. You prefer twinks over bears, huh?
Oh, dude, a little hairless twink.
They call him
that's
Twink
what
Martindale.
Yeah, in fact, I keep him tied up in my guest bedroom. Twink Martindale.
God, I'm sorry.
No, that was the answer. What do you think?
The one thing
that was it. That was it.
Yeah, what is it?
So last night I watched. Oh no, that was it. Yeah, Twink Martindale. The touchless kitchen faucet.
I think it's great.
Like that,
I never. At first, I'm like, am I gonna fucking like this? But you know what? On the left of the faucet, and it's one of those ones that with it looks like the coil arc. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you could take it off, and that faucet
Works.
dude. If you're holding a pot or holding anything, or even just like if you want to refill your coffee, the little the water filter there. But just if you're washing a dish, the little just put your hand in front of it, it goes on. Honestly, I never thought I'd like it. Oh yeah, and the fleshlight. That too.
Oh, I love the flashlight.
I still got mine somewhere.
You know,
JC in Kentucky.
No, I'm sorry. What
hits
was
me
that?
up. Yeah, it's about
what?
No,
say it.
no, flashlights are just too messy. They're not worth it.
What were you gonna say though?
It's like I used it once, and then I'm like, it's just not. It's like I felt so dirty and devious afterwards. It's like it's like it makes you jizz in like 10 seconds because the inside of that has like so much texture.
Ben's gonna grow up and be like, Dad, your flashlight has a nose.
And then when you're done, you realize
with a mustache.
You realize you're just holding this thing on top of your dick with jizz in it, and you have to take it out and now clean it when you're like all your deviance is gone, and you're just like you're so dejected.
Oh,
just standing.
You're supposed to clean those out.
By the way, I'm not gonna lie. Spot.
I just use hot sauce.
Can I tell? And by the way, I can't wait to get to that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Spot. That's I don't think Spot's ever said something in the history of our show.
Yeah.
That I agreed with more than what he just said. The fleshlight is fantastic in a perverted way. When you're done, there's nothing more shameful than being like, now I got to go fucking wash out a rubber tube I just jizzed in.
Right. Yeah, it's jizzer's remorse.
Yeah, but it's like all right. Can I tell you
something?
But you know how Covino has said he feels bad when he'd look at Smut and minimize the screen and there'd be like a nice family photo on his wallpaper.
Yeah.
Take that.
Can I give
times 100?
Can I give a big reveal on this show?
Yeah,
I guess.
Yes, I do.
I'm gonna make myself big for this.
Flex cam.
So for the fleshlight, because of that feeling,
barf.
I actually went out and bought a pack of condoms so I could fuck the fleshlight. So I wouldn't have to clean it.
Yo, that's fucking brilliant.
I didn't want to have to clean it, so I went out and bought condoms, and I fucked it with condoms.
No shame. That's fucking smart.
I think I thought about it, but
I may do that.
I'm like, I haven't bought condoms in a while. I'm like, let me go buy condoms to fuck this fleshlight.
I may have to buy condoms anyway, and I'll tell you why. By the way, here's the rub.
What was the brand they said in Golden Girls?
King Richard condoms.
Those are right.
In black.
Ultra sensitive in black.
Oh.
Man,
I mean,
that's a great confession.
Imagine your wife would be like, "Why do you have condoms? Who is she?" And you're like, "No, I'm fucking a fleshlight."
No. And then I have to.
I'm leaving you. Who is she? No, babe, really, seriously, I'm fucking a rubber apparatus.
Do you know the lengths that I went to conceal these condoms? Like I would do it, and then I had to have to like.
You'd hide them like you were cheating on your wife.
Wrap it in like paper towels, shove it in the bottom of the trash.
Right down the
You're
fucking
so right
garbage
about
chute.
that. Imagine how embarrassed. Like, what's worse, that you're doing that, or if like your wife found them and you had to explain to her?
Why do you have condoms?
Why do you have condoms? There's a 3-pack and one's missing.
You're like,
who is she?
3-pack. I bought the fucking 12-pack.
At that point, you almost want to say her name is
Jessica.
Jessica.
You caught me.
Because you don't want to admit what a fucking creep you are.
Not to mention, it makes me last like 40 seconds with the condom.
Wow.
Spot. I'm not gonna lie. You've given me a perverted idea.
Hold on, I just want to read some feedback to wrap it up. And please bear with me because I have a story that leads into Drake. Okay?
Takes out all the pressure of cleaning.
JC, I have to read this because he says my pomp is fired today, so thank you for that.
I don't know. You're losing your hair according to you.
Pompous. Feeling very pompous.
By the way, there's our clip for today.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
He also says, I currently have 2 pairs of Hey Dudes and have literally worn 2 pairs out. That's how much people love these. I can't believe you never heard of it. He goes, I just knew if Drew Mac would have recommended them, you guys would take notice. He goes, dudes are so much better than Sanooks. People call them dudes. So again, we're just talking about the word of mouth endorsement and the weight that it carries. Moving on. Now I'm going to pose another question. You got to put your thinking caps on, though. And this leads into the Drake story, okay? Rich, we never told the story, but it's kind of funny, and Rich blamed me. I want you guys to think about an answer. Like, if someone posed the question to you, and maybe depending on your answer, they're going to judge you a certain way. And perhaps you answer the question wrong. It could be like an interview question. Because this happened to us one time.
What's your biggest weakness?
Yeah.
My traps.
Well, they're John Kreese has no weakness. I work on that. John Kreese has no weakness.
His weakness is
What is John Kreese's weakness?
I can't say it.
Since you ask.
What's that? You know what I find funny? That TikTok trend where it's like, it starts out with someone saying something crazy, and then the person's like, "No, I meant questions about the job."
Oh yeah,
like someone asks some like fucking weird perverted question, and they're like, "Oh no, I meant about the questions about the job."
Like, for example, it's a hard question to sort of pose, but you'll understand when I tell the story. It's like, let's say a new person in your life, a new date, a new relationship. They ask you like a question, and depending on your answer, you know it's going to go either good or bad. That happened to us one time, Rich and I as a team. And we never told this story ever, and it's the dumbest story, but I just told it this weekend to Jordan.
Okay.
All right?
An untold story?
It's not that great of a story, but it's a true story, so hear me out. There's a reason we probably didn't tell it. My life came full circle. This is years ago, guys. Rich and I had an interview to be the morning show at 92.3 in New York. Now, 92.3 is where I came up. I remember that. It's fair to say that I wasn't respected as like radio personality Steve Covino when I worked there. Everybody loved me there. Don't get it twisted. Everyone believed in me and appreciated my work ethic, but I wasn't like, yo, he's the next fucking guy. He's the next Howard Stern, I tell you. By no means was that the case. So when Rich and I were up for that interview at 92.3, where I had started my career, it's like, wow, what a full circle moment. And personally, it meant a lot because when I went there was still people that I worked with there, and they were so excited to see us. Like, wow. And people were coming up to me like, yo, man, I used to work with you back in the day. Now you're interviewing for the main gig here? That's awesome. Yeah. High five. And even though we didn't get the job, we were a high contender for the opportunity. Yeah, and it was a full circle, it's always kind of cool moment.
It's always a weird thing because looking back, like, I do wonder, like, those radio stations, like, we could have been the greatest. But, all those radio stations end up flipping formats.
Yeah.
So, like, we could have taken that job, made a nice payday, left Sirius XM, but then we would have been looking again because that radio station, 92.3 in New York, went like rock, pop, back to rock, then pop, then back to rock. So, like, that's why it's so scary, that FM world, even more than satellite and podcasting, because you could be good, and they could just be like, yeah, starting tomorrow, we're a country station.
Yeah, for me, victory lied in the fact that
they just wanted you.
They were considering us. They wanted us. And all my former colleagues from like 10 years prior were like, wow, man, look how fucking far you've come. We used to drive the van together. I'm still here working, and now you're interviewing for the main gig. Cool. So was our intention to leave Sirius XM? No, but it would have been foolish.
For the right price.
For the right price. It would have been foolish to not take the interview, though, right? So we took the interview, and it was a fun experience. Now, the backstory is there was a new boss there, right?
Yeah.
And we really didn't know the guy, but there was a new boss.
I don't know if I know the story you're about to tell. This is fun. All right, this is like I'm listening with you guys.
We came highly recommended, so he wanted to bring us in and meet us. So we're there, and again, I'm talking to some old colleagues. Side note, one of the colleagues that came up to us
and said hi, passed away.
Yeah, he passed away like a month later. So it was so cool that I got to see him right before he passed.
By the way, Sean the lawyer hit me up the other day, not to derail your conversation.
It's just a story.
But Sean the lawyer, who you worked with at K-Rock, he's like, I can't believe Steve got so sick from COVID, and another one of our K-Rock buddies died. Yeah. I'm like, what? I think you mentioned it, but I didn't know it was like one of your close buddies at K-Rock.
One of our close buddies, Sean the rabbi. He was a program director in the Philly area. If you guys listen to like WMMR and things like that.
Yeah, he said that. He said the guy was like a relatively healthy 40-something-year-old, right?
Yeah, kids, everything died. Couldn't beat it. So
crazy.
we're at 92.3 New York. At that time, it was what? Viacom, CBS? I don't know who owned it at the time. And we're interviewing with this guy. He's like, hey, Covino and Rich, have a seat, man. I heard lots of great things about you. I'm like old school rock guy who's the boss here now. What's up? And he had formerly been from California. He was a West Coast guy, to my understanding.
Yeah.
He's in New York, and he's interviewing Covino and Rich. He's heard great things. Hey, man, you used to work at 92.3, right? Like, yeah, you know. Used to drive the van. I did, stuff on the air, but I never got my big break. So cool to be here, man. And I shit you not. He goes, well, I just got one question for you guys.
I totally forget this. Well,
no, you don't.
Right,
You'll
hold
totally
on.
remember because Rich blamed me. And this is so out of left field.
You know what? Now that you're saying
I got one question for you guys.
Whatever you said, I'm sure I did blame you because you probably said something dumb. All right,
and Rich and I looked at each other like, wow, he's going to size us up based on our answer here. So are we going to answer right or wrong? He goes, are you a Cholula guy or a Tapatio guy? You remember that? And Rich and I looked at each other like, he's given us, like, put it this way. We immediately felt like, depending on what we say, he's going to make a judgment here. Like, it's almost as if he knew he was going to ask us this.
I'm not going to lie.
It's like, you know what? I'm going to make this short and sweet. And depending on what they say, I'm either going to hire him or not. And he came straight at us with this random off-the-wall conversation.
I totally forget this.
You don't remember this?
I don't remember this at all.
I can't believe you don't remember this.
I don't remember this, but I feel like you and I riffed about it, which is probably what he wanted anyway. I think we were probably like, Chula, I don't know, bro, Tapatio. And we probably joked about it for a minute. But
and I hesitated too. I'm like, man, if I say the wrong thing here, he's going to make an assumption. If I don't say Tapatio, he's not going to think I'm vato enough. I don't know if he wants me to really play this ethnic card. I don't know.
Cholula's got the wooden cap.
But Cholula has got, and I used to work at Bennigan's. All we served was Cholula. I would steal bottles of Cholula all the time from work.
But you know what? You telling those details in story is what he really wants anyway. He just wants the details and he wants to test your personality.
I feel like he was judging us because I looked at Rich. I think Rich looked at me because Rich was like, Tapatio, what the fuck is that?
No, I knew.
I don't know. I just remember making eye contact like, fuck, what are we going to say? And I said, I had all these thoughts running through my mind, and I was like, I'm staying true to my heart. I feel like he wants me to say Tapatio because he's like West Coast, and that's more of a West Coast thing, I think. I'm a Cholula guy, has the wooden cap. My answer is Cholula. And I feel like he went, and this is the truth. He went, come on, Tapatio.
And then I was like, yeah, Tapatio.
And then Rich threw me under the bus, probably. I don't remember that part of the story.
Like, man, Covino's stupid.
But I will
agree,
tell you this.
Tapatio.
You're saying, what a dumb story. There's no way he would judge you on such things. The conversation sort of went from like, yeah, fun loving, hey, man, just had breakfast. Cool, it's cool to be here.
I don't
to
remember.
Like, the conversation was like, all right, well, hey, don't call me, we'll call you. Nice to meet you guys later. Never heard shit about it again. And Rich then, therefore, blamed me. That's the truth of the end of the story. You probably blew it when you said Cholula. He was looking for to say Tapatio. And he was.
I think
he was. And the conversation sort of ended there because he was like, oh, he's not my kind of guy. He's a Cholula guy.
By the way, Cholula's way better than Tapatio.
I'm not going to lie.
I was a Cholula guy. I stayed true to my heart.
Cholula's way better.
If you want my truthful, honest,
you blame me. You could have been joking, but you did.
Remember this for the life of me. I feel like
Then you're pea brain.
I'm a pea brain
because that was the whole fun part of the story.
I forget that completely.
We couldn't tell the story because we were with Sirius XM, and why would we be taking interviews? We would have been foolish to not take the interview.
Yeah,
just to see what was doing.
I mean, it was in the middle of our contract negotiation, so that's when you feel things out.
But he's absolutely right, and that's not even a justification.
It was weird because after that, he was like, all right, well, Twizzlers or Red Vines. And I was like, oh. Yeah, no,
the interview ended. It took a weird turn. We answered not to his liking. I tried to justify the Cholula. He wasn't feeling it. I'm not saying that was the reason, but it felt like it was. And Rich jokingly said I answered wrong. It's a true story.
I think I was.
And now I got full circle again. I was at a breakfast spot this weekend with Jordan, and they had both Tapatio and Cholula on the table, and I fucking chose Cholula.
I think why I was mad at you in that interview
Come on, man, Tapatio. What kind of Mexican are you?
What makes me think that there was an interview we went on one time, and I
think he was a little bit too adult for the format. Was that it?
I think
was he cursing too much?
No, I think yeah, I know what it was. Spot. We were in an interview once, and you might not remember this. I remember I kept being like, "Yo, fucking quit it." We were doing something that was more mainstream, and Covino kept being like, "Well, I'm the rock guy, fucking rock." I'm like, dude, yeah, and it was like, "Yo, dude, this is a pop station. You keep saying you're the rock guy." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up."
That was it. I think that was it.
That was the fight. It wasn't Cholula.
I remember that.
Cholula.
I remember that.
You're thinking it was Cholula.
Tapatio.
I remember the guy. It was a radio station that was like a top 40. It was an aggressive top 40, meaning like. It was a hip hop leaning top 40. Like, you know, remember when like 92, some stations on the country became like now, 92.3 now, or like Power 10. It was like an edgy top 40, which I think we're good for a format like that.
Yeah.
But I think when we're doing the interview, I'm like, yeah, I think top 40 traditionally is corny, but man, if we're doing like more of an edgy one, we're doing all the right things. And I think you kept saying, yeah, rock. And I'm like, shut the fuck up with the rock. You're blowing it.
Cholula, bro.
It wasn't Cholula.
If I would have said Tapatio, we would have been fucking.
Now we're at the spot. You remember now that I said the rock thing. I
remember that.
It was you being like, yeah, well, you know, I fucking love rock. And I'm like, yo, quit it with the corn.
Hey, bro,
and
I
the
gotta be
fucking
true to me.
Metallica.
I gotta be true to me.
Be true to you and work on the one rock station that still exists in the country.
I had to be true. So that was the story, and I'm sticking to it. Never heard from that guy again.
Yeah, because you said that you fucking rock out every day.
But if I said Tapatio, I think we would have got the job.
Now, Jordan, if she's listening, I remember it, and that may have been a question, but I think the main discrepancy there was, and it wasn't like we weren't mad at each other, but I was like, yo, bro, can you stop with the rock shit?
Jokingly brought up, like, had I said Tapatio,
yeah, but
the interview would have gone in a completely different direction.
But in my mind, the big takeaway was stop with the rock. The rock and rock.
I'll never
and
stop
rock.
with the
You're
rock.
fucking rocking.
I'm like Rob Zombie, bro. Never gonna stop.
I know, but it was fucking rock.
Dude, fucking rock till you drop. So that's an old school way back Wednesday story, never told. Are there any other examples? I'm sure like if you're talking to your future wife's dad or something and they ask you a question, like, you know, sometimes you're like, man, depending on what I answer, this could be a make or break moment.
I'll tell you what I'll do.
Are there other examples?
Yeah, perfect. I got the best one, and please let us not go down this rabbit hole and wormhole or whatever it would be.
This all leads back to a story about hot sauce, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's why I brought it up in the first place.
It truly is. Now, this has nothing to do with compromising your own beliefs and integrity. But if you're at a work meeting, a conference, meeting the friends or family of a girl you're like casually dating or something, I'm telling you, COVID and politics are something that you feel out before you even make a joke one way or the other. Like, you could be hanging out with some girl's friends and family, and they could all be, I don't know, like fucking super Trumpers that are like, yeah, well, a lot of us are not vaxxed. And you got to feel the room out and not even bring that shit up. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could talk to someone in a business setting that deals are being done, and you could disagree with them 100% politically.
So right about that, and that's really fucked up when you really think about it. How your political affiliation could affect your business and your work.
Well, I mean,
it's fucked up.
But that's why my advice is good, because
it's not.
You don't compromise your own beliefs and integrity. But you know what's more important? Putting fucking food on the table and just winning at work, right?
It shouldn't even be an issue, though.
Covino, you and I could go for a meeting, right? I'll give you a good example.
Hey, our
and then he said he preferred Cholula over Tapatio.
It got really awkward. And Rich and I are pretty liberal on a lot of things, on most things. We weren't liberal enough for ESPN.
And
it was awkward.
ESPN were a bunch of,
and I just had to I had to keep my mouth closed.
The Deportes people at ESPN
they were the
most overly
ridiculous.
They were all like 23-year-old overly woke Hispanic kids.
They were ridiculous.
That thought that everything was racist, everything was this, everything was that, to the point where Covino's like, yo, this is fucking insane. Like,
I just honestly, and Rich is right, I felt like a puto, but I kept my mouth shut a lot just to keep my job and just roll and move forward.
ESPN was
it's not worth arguing with this dude because
ESPN was so overly woke.
It was disgusting.
And I'll fast forward.
Even though I loved working there. That's the
Covino and I
truth.
met someone for a coffee, a very important person in the sports entertainment world. Probably one of the top 3 guys in the biz for a pretty cool meeting a year ago or so.
It was Jim Rome.
It was not, but someone more important than him, to be honest.
He was very arrogant. He's like, who the hell are you guys?
Call me Chris
I'm
Everett
like,
again.
call me Chris Everett one more
Yeah.
time. Say, all right, Chris.
Call me Camino one more time.
Call me Camino one more time, Rome.
Okay,
I'm gonna
Camino.
flip this table over. It was a real awkward experience.
They didn't hate me at ESPN, but they thought that I was like white Trumper. They thought I was like white Trump guy, and I'm like, yo,
And
I'm
they
far from
probably
white Trump guy. but
wanted to revoke my Vato card because I didn't agree with every fucking
like everything that was
young liberal thing that
everything
they stood
that
for.
was like super woke. Like if an athlete or celebrity or someone said something like not super woke, they hated it. I'm like, well, maybe they wanted to hear nothing.
And a lot of things we had to stay away from or divert our original conversation because they didn't agree with it.
You learned.
Yeah. So we meet someone in the sports world that's super powerful. And
Tell him it was Keith Olbermann.
And we met this person. And
Derek
this is around the time of early COVID where
very powerful.
this is a time of the world where it's early COVID. So like people are masking up. We meet this person. And this is when people aren't even meeting up because it's like, yo, are people even meeting in person? And the person's like, yeah, in person. So I was like, yeah, I'm cool with it. But so my first assess was, all right, well, they're cool with meeting in person. So, hey, I'm down. But, because this is around the time where very, most people are like, maybe we shouldn't do anything in person. We meet this person in person. And they're fucking sans mask, no mask. And we go into a coffee shop. And this person goes into the coffee shop without a mask on. And I was like, all right, I'll roll this style. This is an important meeting. I'm not going to be all masky mask guy. This is like 2 years ago, maybe. And this person got yelled at by the worker at their store.
Some weenie
yelled at this person, not knowing who they were, like, put on a mask or get out. And
What did you do?
I remember thinking to myself, like,
Did you say anything?
no, but Spot, I'm just saying you take your leads from the people that you're
it's
dealing
good
with
business.
professionally. Good business.
It's good business.
Right? It's like,
It
honestly,
doesn't feel authentic, but it's like, what's that
yeah.
saying about?
Like, how many times have you been in a meeting or somewhere where the person's like, are you, you wearing a mask? All right, we're fine. Like, or someone's super messed up and you're like,
what's
you
the
wear your
saying
mask.
about biting your nose to spite your face?
Don't you-
What's the saying?
You also have
It'd
to
be counterproductive if Rich went against something that would put
Yeah, but
money
it's
in our
not like
pockets.
it's not like he said to you, "Don't wear a mask." If you have a certain feeling or a certain,
So you think it would have been in Rich's best interest to agree with the coffee shop guy?
No, I'm not saying you should have said, "Yeah, you're right, coffee shop guy. Make him put a mask on." If you felt more comfortable wearing a mask, you wear a mask.
Oh.
And I don't want to go down this road.
No, that's.
But I'm saying, like, you don't
That's
have
fair.
to, like, if the bot, like, I
agree. I'm just saying, all right, Spot.
like, I always remember that meeting we had with one of the big bosses at SNY, and it's always my favorite thing when we went out to dinner. Remember?
Yeah.
The boss was like, "Oh, it's a place he loved." He's like, "I love the chicken saltimbocca." Rich was like, "I'm gonna get the chicken saltimbocca."
I'll take the
Covino-
boss's recommendation. The boss is like,
yeah.
oh, you like the yeah. So you gotta play your. you
Covino
gotta
was
play
like, "I'm gonna order something off menu because I'm a child," and I'm like, "You know what? I'm gonna fucking go bold.
I'm gonna have the roasted duck.
I'm gonna have the fucking
Roasted
roasted rabbit."
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to not assert yourself.
Should have ordered turducken. They were like,
I
oh, he's a
should've.
sports
there
guy.
is.
Sports
Yeah.
guy.
Boom.
But sometimes you just have to be your own person and not, and that's almost respected. That's almost
agreed.
respected more than being like, okay.
Yeah,
Really?
agreed, Spot.
If
But
I
I'm
would
just
have said
saying, like,
Tapatio, I would have got the job.
it's just a reminder that
Please.
don't compromise your own beliefs, but
Own
just
it.
just know that.
You got to own your decision.
You don't need to be abrasive and against the grain either.
Yeah,
though.
I've been pretty wise about my business choice. I feel like I have a good gauge of this stuff, and I think a lot of it has to do with you could be bold, but I think you also you have to have the ability. Some people don't have the ability. I have a lot of things. I have a lot of shortcomings, but one of them is I could read these situations in meetings.
You gotta know when to bite your tongue.
And I always know when someone
And
is
roll
like,
with it.
I know when someone is super annoyingly passionate about something, and I don't think you ever compete with that passion.
It's not worth it.
No.
It's not worth your money.
I agree with that.
It's not worth it. And by the way, on a side note, before we
Well,
talk
all right,
about hot sauce,
let's say we're at a meeting, right? Like my daughter's school, the kids wear masks once in a while inside, but not outside, which makes no sense because they're all on top of each other anyway. If I met someone for a meeting now and they're like, Covino Rich, we want to hire you. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? They're like, I'm sorry, I'm just wrapping up a call. Can you believe my kid's school is not masks all the time? My opinion is it shouldn't be masks all the time. But I'm not going to say, well, you know what my opinion is? I'd be like, yeah, crazy. Let's get to the meeting.
Same. I have to be honest.
Like,
it's not worth it.
It's not worth
mind.
being like, hey, let's debate something totally fucking where your opinion's made up.
Yeah.
Right?
Business, man. I try to keep that separate.
That's why my daughter's home from school.
I mean,
all
that's
week.
also poor on them to bring up a topic like that.
My daughter's home all week, not because there's kids with COVID, but this is happening places where teachers, the school's understaffed because the teachers are like, hey, someone in their outside circle. So they're like, yeah, we don't have enough teachers, so we're shutting down for a week. I'm like, oh, then you see the chain of the email. And there's some parents that are like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Luckily, we're fortunate where I work from home and Sarah works part-time from home. But you see the parents who are scrambling on the text message thread where it's like, so wait, you're trying to say like, could there be an alternate plan? And they're like, nope, come back to school after Martin Luther King Day. So yeah, it is what it is.
Don't debate that. Alex Berman, what's up? Follow the lead of the guy in charge. Jason, what's going on? Appreciate all the feedback. Chris Fry hit us up and they're like, Chris Everett. You guys, Chris Everett is the Jim Rome story.
Yeah, I remember
Jim Rome was interviewing Jim Everett and he kept calling him Chris. And Jim Everett, quarterback, said, yo, Jim Rome, call me Chris Everett one more time.
Call me one more time.
By the way,
and he goes, okay, Chris. And then Jim Everett loses his shit.
And flips the tape.
A lot of people speculated it was staged. Even if it was, it put Jim Rome on the map. And the rest is history.
Oh, by the way, someone said, whatever happened to that meeting that Rich was reluctant to go to last week? That was the one that we talked about the next day briefly where it was like some guy trying to explain NFTs to us. And I was like, I got it, but I didn't.
Non-fungible tokens.
Yeah.
I've watched and researched so much. I understand it. I don't understand it.
I understand that I get it, but don't.
I understand that I understand.
I'm in the spot.
I understand what it means.
I think you are on the same.
I completely understand what an NFT is, how you make it, how you get it out there, how you buy it, how you sell it. I completely understand every aspect of it. I don't understand.
There's layers to NFTs.
How that turns into money.
Like NFT, there could be an NFT, like it's artwork, like one of those like funny little cartoons, like the gorilla, like those.
Bored Ape.
What is that?
Yeah, the Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Yeah, like the apes and all that stuff. That's like the
Which
artwork.
is the highest selling one.
That the younger kids are like trading like artwork. But I'm saying NFTs will be functional on a different level with like season ticket holders and passes for things and stuff. They'll be in an NFT form. I digress. Back to you, Steve.
The reason I told an old tale.
The reason the Bored Ape one, that's like the number one one. You would recognize
of course. Everyone.
It's because it comes with perks. It comes with like access to things.
Yeah.
So I get it, but I don't get it.
Yeah. That's probably the number one reason people remember who Jim Everett is. That's a good point. Would you remember Jim Everett, the quarterback, as clearly if it wasn't a bit from Jim Rome? Jim Rome.
I don't know. I
Jim,
think so, but I'm very familiar with that clip.
I mean, Jim Everett's a pretty solid NFL quarterback back in the day, but I think his name and legacy lives on more because he fucking flipped the table on Jim Rome.
I feel like people don't remember that story, which is crazy to me, based on the feedback that we're seeing. This is it, real quick. Here's an interview gone wrong.
Well, hey, you know what? Let me say one thing. In that game, how many sacks did I have that we came back and won?
How many sacks did you have?
How many sacks?
Well, see, but this was back in 1989.
Okay, that was
you may have even been Jim Everett back there, but somewhere along the way, Jim, you ceased being Jim and you became Chris.
Well, let me tell you a little secret. That, we're sitting here right now, and if you guys want to take a station break, you can. But if you call me Chris Everett to my face one more time...
I already did it twice.
You call it one more time, we better take a station break.
Well, it's a 5-minute segment, or a 5-segment show. We got a long way to go.
Well, we do.
We got a long way to go.
We do.
I'll get a couple segments out of you before.
Well, it's good to be here with you, though.
Well, it's good to see you,
because
too.
You've been talking like this behind my back for a long time.
But now I said it right here.
Right, exactly.
Well, we got no problems then.
I think that you probably won't say it again.
I bet I do.
Okay.
Chris?
Where'd the sound go?
He knocked his mic out.
When the dust had settled, Rome continued
Who's
with
this guy?
Joe minus effort.
Who's that guy? Look at that
hair.
Look at that pump.
That's who we had our meeting with.
Was that Big Steve?
It was Jim. That's my dad. He was a former news broadcaster. But
Yeah. By the way, that's almost like too woke now. Like he called him a woman.
Oh yeah.
Like now it would be like,
what are you trying to say?
Jim Everett would be on the hot seat. I'm sorry, Jim Rome would be on the hot seat because he's like, see, you're insinuating he's a woman and that's like bad or something. Oh.
Now, why did I bring up Tapatio and Cholula? Well, to go over like, these questions. Sometimes they're pivotal moments in your life. You don't even realize it. Like, damn, if I would have just chose the blue pill and not the red pill. Damn, if I would have just...
By the way, I watched the...
went left instead of going right. Damn, if I would have just went out with that girl instead of this girl. I said Cholula. Who knows what would have happened if I said Tapatio?
By the way, I did that recently, and sometimes you hit a home run, not even realizing it. And by the way, you're damaging that pen on a big level. I'm so amazed how he does this. Can you give a one shot of Covino's pen? I don't even know how you do that. Like,
I made coochie lips out of it.
Like, what do you even?
You made what?
Coochie lips.
But look at that pen. Like,
how are your teeth not falling out?
Look at his thumb every day, though. Is it bad again? Yeah, look at he's got a blue thumb every day. Every day, fucking blue thumb over here.
Blue thumb.
I hit a home run the other day with this.
You chose the right path.
You say something. Now, some people could plant this and do it intentionally, and that's deceptive but smart. But I complimented someone, and someone's like, you know what? I'm their mentor. And I'm like,
wow.
Like, I was like,
really?
Yeah, I was like, oh. I complimented a radio show, and I was like, you know who's good? I never heard them, and man, they're pretty fucking good. They're like, you know what? I trained them or something like that. I was like, I got an ear for it.
Yeah. So, brought up hot sauce for a reason. It's a fun story we never told. Rich blamed me for ruining the interview.
Yeah, rock guy and hot sauce. You made two wrong turns.
Yeah, I made two wrong turns that day.
If you said pop guy and Cholula, we'd be fucking making $1 million right now.
Who knows? Who knows where we could have been?
Are you teething like my son? Who's teething? You or Ben?
What if you said neither and you said Frank's Red Hot?
Oh, he's a fucking outside
then
thinker.
I would have lost like Vato cred.
Oh, he was super Vato.
He was sold on me being a minority. I'm sure.
Most people you were the super Vato.
That's why That's why I lean that way.
Yeah,
this guy. There's no value in me in being like a vague, slightly Vato.
Dude, one last thought about that. On a aggressive, and I say aggressive like sarcastically, but that's the truth. It was a edgier top 40 that was trying to compete against like Z100, which is very poppy. They wanted an edgy. They probably wanted like you to be like edgy, mainstream, like dancey Latino guy, and you were like, yeah, rock, Cholula, like like so.
I like Cholula, man.
What are you gonna do?
I actually had Tapatio this weekend too. I was like, I don't like it that much.
It's not good.
Gotta be honest. Sometimes.
I mean, it's enough. If it's all you got, I'll take it. But I prefer Cholula has a little bit of spice. The Chipotle Cholula, the garlic Cholula.
You give me that with that's
what I use the
green
most?
label.
The green, no,
that's Tabasco.
Oh wait, what's the
no,
green
no,
label?
They make a Chipotle Cholula.
Oh yeah,
the Chipotle Cholula's got the green.
I use
label.
the regular. Now, what my go-to choice is now at the store is usually the Tabasco, Chipotle, or the green one. And
I mean, this whole hot sauce conversation is going to lead to a really hilarious story. But one last question:
Look at all these.
How do you feel about the old brothers in the world that carry hot sauce with them? Is that funny or like ridiculous?
I carry it in a holster.
Like
Didn't
like
Beyonce used to do that.
Beyonce's dad or something. No, but there's like there's a lot of famous people.
We got this.
It's stereotypical or not, but that's like the thing. Like, there's a lot of old brothers that like carry around hot sauce with them. Do you know anyone that carries hot sauce with them?
Chipotle, that's the one.
Yeah, bro. My Uncle Angel, he's keeping his back pocket all the time. I'm just kidding. No.
Oh, chili garlic is fucking fantastic.
That sounds great. I never had it.
It's harder to find. Fucking fantastic.
I used the Tabasco.
Chili lime's pretty good.
Chipotle most of the time.
I remember they used to send. What is this? They used to send us for our guac-offs. They used to send us like a full-on case.
One of my favorite hot sauces is Taco Bell's hot sauce.
Really?
It's so good.
Hey, look, whatever. I'm not judging you. Now, there's a story about Drake and hot sauce. I got to tell you my understanding of the story, and then we'll hear the real understanding of the story. Spot has all the details. My understanding is this. And in my visual, he has one of those little hotel Tabasco sauces.
Yeah.
That's in my mind. That's what he has.
Same.
You've seen them before,
Of course.
right?
In fact, Daniel hit us up saying he carries the little Tabasco in his backpack.
They come
just in case.
You know what? Whenever you walk through the hotel and you see the tray in the hallway, you always see the little bottle.
Yeah.
I take them.
We're
'cause
talking
no one
with the
uses
red
them.
cap.
Yeah,
the
no
little
one
red
u- they're-
cap.
they're
Tabasco.
sealed.
Yeah, they're great.
I'll just grab them.
So I'm assuming because this story takes
Great to
place,
have.
if I'm not mistaken, in a hotel. So I'm thinking Drake has access to like some room service in one of those little Tabasco bottles.
You should always have 2 ketchup packets, some type of hot sauce, or some type of dippings in your car.
And a straw.
And
I
a
think you
straw.
need
And a straw.
Because sometimes they forget and sometimes you break one.
Just in case you're on a road trip or you're on the road and you stop somewhere and they're like, yo, they fucking didn't give me hot sauce or ketchup or anything, and you're already on your way. You need to always have a couple packets in the car.
That's a bit extreme.
Man, but it is a nice reminder to have one of those little Tabasco bottles, though.
Too much temperature change in my car.
So here's my understanding of the story. This sort of ties everything together. Spotty's condom purchase when he fucks his fleshlight.
Yeah.
The Cholula, the Tapatio, the hot sauce. My understanding is rapper Drake, is having familiar relations with some groupie, some girl.
Some Instagram hoe.
I mean, she can't not be a groupie, right? I mean,
Instagram
he's
model.
Drake. He's, yes, an Instagram model.
Can I
So
ask you-
clearly she knows who Drake is.
Can I ask you, be real with me for a second? As our ADD gets us to this story finally. If you see a really fucking hot girl on social media,
Yeah.
and
Go on.
it says like she's got the OF, the OnlyFans.
Oh, yeah.
Do you Google it or Pornhub it to see if like they were like, I'm not buying
Absolute-
anyone's OnlyFans, but
absolutely.
do you ever do a little investigation for a minute?
Might
No,
I recommend a nice Google search of who was the hot
Go on.
weather chick?
Yeah, Nick
Yannick
Garcia.
Garcia.
Yannick Garcia.
Oh, one of our listeners.
He used to send me those. So I'm not saying I haven't seen it because I
Is
have.
showing
but-
titty
Yo,
by
Yannick-
I and ass, and I recommend it.
Yannick Garcia.
Wait, full on nude?
Yeah, no, yeah. Yannick,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Annette Garcia,
Yeah.
the hot weather girl.
Yeah.
One of our listeners. Oh, he still deserves a shout out, but he sent it months and months and months ago, so I'll never find it. But
He stopped hitting me up.
Yeah.
Because I told him to beat it one time.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. The anchor guy, right?
Yeah, he stopped. He offended him.
I didn't offend him.
So you told him to beat it.
He said something rude about my girlfriend.
So
I said, beat
so
it,
he
dude.
unsubscribed and stopped sending me titty shots. Thanks.
Does that give him the right to be rude?
No, but one down.
Yeah.
Who are you going to offend today? Hey, Crystal Break, Covino hate you. Unsubscribe. Bye. Jacob Moultrie, nice knowing you.
Just because you subscribe doesn't give you the right to say rude things
That's
that
true.
are over the line when I'm a person.
That's true.
I said,
But anyway,
yeah,
this
I
guy.
thought- I was like, yeah, maybe you probably shouldn't say that about my girlfriend. Beat it.
Well, this guy used to be
think
cool.
that's what
He
it
used to
was.
be cool to me. Well, he
forget.
sent me. He goes, yo, check this out. And I opened the little link he sent me, and he had checked out the Yannick Garcia OnlyFans. And I was like, thank you, sir. Fucking looking good.
Yeah, she
But
does.
By
on
the
a
way,
side
telling
note,
someone to beat it isn't really that offensive. I say that to you multiple times a day.
How about
Yeah.
fuck you?
I'd
beat
say
it?
that to
But
my
I'm
daughter.
but I'm not
I tell my
offended.
daughter to beat it.
I'm not offensive.
Yeah,
I'm
beat
not,
it.
but I'm not offended by you because you're my bud. I'm saying like,
Do you Johnny Lawrence it?
Melody told me to not roll my eyes at her. I said, excuse me? I said, beat it. Go to your room.
Fuck you, beat it.
Yeah. No, seriously. She was like, you're supposed to take me to Barnes & Noble.
yeah, fucking Cubs
I said,
fan. Cubs
beat
fan.
it. I'm
Cubs
not taking
fan.
you anywhere now.
Cubs fan's gone today. -1.
No, he's
Thanks.
not. He tweeted us last night. I said,
Cubs,
thank you.
No, Cubs fan. He's gone. He said he's out.
He's not.
Yo, Austin Arnold, nice knowing you.
He said something.
I know.
I know. He questioned, like, should she be out partying like that? Like, my girlfriend never goes out ever. You know, I wish she would go out. She's a young woman. She's living my old guy life.
If I were you,
She
if I were
should
you,
go-
I wouldn't want her going out partying.
No, I think she should go out and live her life.
I think we.
And
should.
he
I
said
think
something about like,
I'll take her party.
I don't know
with
if
Sophia
I,
Beverly.
you know, he said something like off color, and I was like, beat it, dude.
I mean,
Like, mind your business.
She might upgrade you.
And I was just joking.
But yeah, there you go. Yannick Garcia, great OnlyFans.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Sophia Beverly, not so much.
Well, what I'm saying, Spot, is
Not
that
worth it.
if you see some hot girl on Instagram and it says like OnlyFans, I'll fucking take her name, just put it in Pornhub search just for a second, and be like, OnlyFans leaks. I'm like, oh, I just want to see. It's not.
Anytime you want to see something that you can't access normally,
Reddit.
You just said Reddit at the end of the search, and it's there.
No, I mean, I'm not touching my dinky to it, but the curiosity is like, yo, this fucking hot girl on Instagram has an OnlyFans. Quick little search, see what that's going.
Reddit requires me to download the app, so that's when I quit.
No, you don't have to. You can open it in a browser.
You can open it in a browser.
Yeah, see, I don't know. Old guy. Boomer.
Yeah, old boomer.
But you don't sign up.
That
for-
being said,
you're too stubborn to go on Reddit.
Unless it's about me personally. Like,
That being
someone
said-
hit me up recently and said Anthony Cumia was talking about us on the radio.
Who?
Oh,
Anthony, Opie and Anthony. I'm like, who the fuck's Anthony Kumi? All right, yeah, Opie and Anthony. Yeah.
So then, like, curiosity, like, oh, what were they talking about? That'll take me to some weird Reddit link. Yeah, well. And then that's when I realized I'm not that interested.
Yeah, I was like, what do you say?
I have read
about,
it.
I went over our Sirius XM sort of controversy and what happened with us.
We have a Reddit account.
I don't really use it. But
yeah, it's linked to our Gmail, Covino, right?
Probably.
Yeah,
everything is on.
I'm not that horny.
P.S. I'm horny.
I mean, P.S. I must be horny, and I'll tell you after you tell the Drake story. How about this? After you tell the Drake story, we'll end the show with me telling you why I'm so horny.
Oh, great!
Why?
Write it down.
Rich,
hold on.
Is
so horny.
Okay,
yes,
perfect.
he's horny.
Yes, I'm horny.
So Drake.
Oh, and I had and also my sad stat of the day.
Sad stat of the day.
Sad stat and why I'm horny.
Write it down.
All right, perfect.
Drake is at a hotel. He's having familiar relations with an Instagram model. He's a superstar. He's very well aware of this type of behavior and who he is and what women are capable of. But not just women, not good women. I'm sure he has a feel of this type of woman.
By the way, just showing it to you.
Oh, fucking you can't. Oh, to us.
Just showing it to you. Yeah, just showing it to you.
Click on the fifth one for him with the S.
Is that Yanette Garcia?
Yeah.
So she's full on nudie now.
There's one with a dick.
Wow.
Nudie
She
in
went
the
from
booty.
weather girl to like.
Yeah.
She's Mexican.
Know what's in the forecast? My dick.
Yeah, she's
forecast.
Her dad must be.
Forecast.
Her dad must be like, put on that bustier.
Forecast. It's gonna be drizzling jizz.
What?
Forecast.
She's a weather girl, Smart. She's a
Cheeks on
weather
Wednesday.
girl.
Tits on Thursday.
Forecast. Chance of jism on that booty.
Wow. Wow.
What?
Wow.
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 Okay, so.
Wow.
Rich is horny.
Yes, Rich is horny.
Go on.
Wow. Wow.
He's used to these trifling sort of tendencies.
Oh, yeah.
Story as I know it is Drake uses condoms.
Wow.
Good for him. Practices safe sex. He has familiar relations with this
I would hope so.
person.
That was nice, yeah.
And then just on instinct, to my understanding.
I practice safe sex with my
Spot, tell me
flashlight.
where I'm wrong, okay? He finishes.
Double up.
Obviously, there's the remnants inside.
Yeah.
He says, "Yeah, I don't trust these
Yeah,
trifling
he walks,
young women."
He goes into the bathroom.
He goes into the
dispose.
bathroom. He uses his little Tabasco thing and puts it in there instinctively. And he was right, because what happens next is he's like, "Yeah, peace out. See you later. Nice to see you. I'll catch you around next time." She then does exactly what he thought she would do.
She goes, yeah.
She takes the fucking condom with his goods inside, inserts the stuff.
The stuff.
The goods.
I don't know. The goods.
You said the goods.
The
so
goods.
Yeah.
The money makers. Inside, realizes, whoa, something's not right.
Ay, Dios mío. Caliente.
Starts screaming.
Yeah. Starts screaming. And now she's suing him.
So let's get this straight. Here's the timeline. Drake has sex with a hot Instagram girl.
Yes.
Uses protection.
Yes.
Finishes inside protection, a condom.
He
goes to the
looks
restroom.
over at his tray of room service.
Tabasco
okay.
sauce. Takes a little Tabasco, goes in the bathroom, disposes of the condom. But before he throws the condom in the trash of the toilet,
Yeah.
he does a little. He removes the condom and little Cholula
I imagine Tabasco.
to little Tabasco.
Do you think he took a little for himself?
No.
Of the condom?
little-
over the,
No,
first?
the Tabasco. Like, oh.
Maybe. Yeah, well, so he then,
always do that.
inside the condom is now Drake's baby making stuff.
Yep.
So,
And he's
is that what
probably,
you're saying?
and he's probably thinking to himself, like, I'm so stupid to be even doing this, but hey, you never know.
No, he knows.
No?
I mean, I know a guy
I'm
that
sure
used
he's
to, I
been
know a guy
burned.
that used to do a water balloon test.
But that was for my own, like, paranoia.
I know a guy that used to fill it up with water, tie it, and
throw
then
it at
throw it at her.
And then and then that guy would run away and laugh.
So, I mean, you can't
Naked.
put anything. Listen, if you're Drake and you're worth, I'm guessing upwards of $100 million. But the guy's worth hundreds of millions, probably, right? He's next level. So Drake could probably sniff out.
This woman probably has a fucking chicken baster in her pocketbook.
I'm
What's
just gonna
that for,
I'm
baby?
just gonna
Oh,
baste
that's
the-
nothing.
I'm just gonna.
Drake's estimated net worth is 180 million.
Yeah, I'm just gonna baste a turkey later.
Just basting.
Just later on.
Just in here basting, baby.
It's
What's that? Why do you got that in your purse?
You never know when you have to roast a turkey.
You know, I got some turkey date after this. What's the turkey date? Nothing. The cooking class. So something.
It's that BYOB. Bring your own basting.
Yeah.
This is what it is.
Alarm the guy.
So Drake is wise enough to go in the bathroom, take off his condom, and then destroy his semen with the hot sauce. Then he throws the condom
Spicy
in the
semen.
trash pail, in apparently tissue paper, toilet paper. The girl, after saying farewell to Drake, goes in the bathroom, like you said, takes the condom and its contents and tries to insert it into herself. And then
description of this.
And then, yeah, how is the news trying to describe its spot in polite terms?
But the whole point is that she's suing him now as a result of that.
Is that what Usher was singing about? Let It Burn?
Yeah. They had a romantic encounter. Okay, so they went back to the hotel, smoked weed for a bit.
Smoked weed, okay.
Okay. Asked if she wanted to have sex. She said she was very intent on ensuring things were consensual. They started a bit of foreplay. He rubbed and sucked her titties for a bit. Love the description. That's what it says. It says it right there, titties. I didn't say it.
What though? What is this?
He then went into the bathroom and came out with a condom.
What is this? Is this a New York Times article?
Yes. She said he's about 7 inches thick and cut. Same. They fucked for about 20 minutes. He mostly hit it from the back and eventually came inside the condom, as you usually do. Immediately after, he went back to the bathroom to dispose of it. She fished the condom out of the trash, untied it, put the opening end into her vagina.
Baby, why you got a fishing pole in your
Boy,
purse?
was she in for a surprise. She felt like pouring hot lava into her PUSSY. She screamed and Drake ran into the bathroom. He admitted that he poured a packet of hot sauce in the condom to kill the sperm.
Packet. Now my whole visual's ruined. Packet?
Packet.
I'm guessing I'm
so
guessing
it wasn't one of those little jars?
You know when you go to when you go to fast food place or a Mexican place and they give you like almost what looks like a ketchup packet, but it's hot sauce? Deceptive.
You think that's why he asked for extra hot sauce?
Yeah, so they were DMing ahead of time, hit it off.
But what a backwards world we live in.
That she now, you know what this reminds me of? One of those dumb stories where it's like, robber gets shot and now they're suing the person whose house they broke into. This girl tried to fish a condom out of the trash and then got mad.
She's now reportedly trying to sue Drake for booby trapping the condom, trapping, and she even posted pictures of inflamed nether regions on Twitter as proof. Oh, I gotta find these.
I
gotta find these.
She posted inflamed photos.
I gotta find these.
Look what Drake did to me.
Give me 30 seconds.
Wait, was this a white girl or black girl? Because I just want to.
Well, I'll find out. And then
I'm going white girl on this. What do you
Drake
think?
has quote unquote responded to this.
This is ridiculous.
All he did was post on his Instagram. You can have your 15 minutes of fame. I'll take the other 23 hours and 45 minutes with him looking down at his hot sauce stick. Let me find these pictures.
Man. What do you think hurts more? Hot sauce in your pussy or icy hot on your balls?
When you say creepy words like that, it hurts my fucking insides. I'm like, ugh.
Oh, I'm sorry, vagina. Yeah, where's the embarrassment? Like, it's almost
it's an
like
insane story. It really is.
It's
Jen.
like when something's so embarrassing, she's doubling down by coming out with it. It's almost like the person that goes to the emergency room. They're like, I got something stuck up my ass. Like this is something she should have never spoke a word of again and fucking went to the shower and tried to wash it out or something.
She is doubling down. There's no regard. There's no shame in the fact that she was being a piece of shit in the first place by admitting what happened next.
Man.
Yeah, it's like the guy with the bowling pin up his ass.
Yeah, it's fucking, how'd they get up there? Fell on it. I was duck pin bowling and tripped and slid down the lane. Oh!
What a terrible story. Can't make that shit up, guys. It's the truth. So if you're like, wow, this story's gross. Hey, this is the story. How fucking bizarre. It ain't easy being Drake.
Man, imagine that. Imagine being so cool and rich that girls were trying to fish or use condoms out of a trash bin.
Baby, why you got that fishing rod?
There is no shame in her game. That is insanity.
By the way, Lonnie shared that story first. So thank you, Lonnie.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday. And then when Lonnie shared it, I was like, yeah, we have to talk about this. I'm excited to talk about it. I was like, this is insane.
Instagram model alleges Drake put hot sauce in his used condom to stop
even if
groupies from stealing his baby makers.
Spot, even if you can't find the picture of her inflamed vagina.
I look for the, please.
If you can't find
Give
that,
me some time.
Can you just at least find who the girl is? So
I just want to know if it was Tapatio or Cholula.
Are you going to judge her based on it?
I'm going to judge Drake.
Spot?
What? Yeah.
And he's like, nah,
can you do me a
Taco
favor?
Bell was your favorite one?
I'm trying to find who the model is.
Oh, you're trying to find out who it is
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I want to know who it is. I want
Which
to
is
look at her
NTO
face and be like,
news.
you, like, this is...
Oh, she's a...
I want to see if I can tell by her look. Like the girl the girl that's with Antonio Brown. I look at her face and I'm like, yo, this girl's bad news. Like, how does it? But then
It's
again,
bad
birds
news
of a
Brown.
feather, right? See who's hanging out now, having dinners. Kanye and fucking Antonio Brown.
and AB.
Like, aren't you like reminded like birds of a feather? Like, of course. Why would Antonio Brown and Kanye not, fucking hang together? Who is it?
Baby, why you got a pack of fishing lures in your pocketbook?
Have a fly fishing event after this date.
You got a fishing rod?
I'll find it.
And a
Why you
turkey
got
baster.
a turkey based and fishing rod?
Someone has it. Send it to me.
I'm gonna go catch a turkey. With a
I just have a busy weekend after this.
Drake needs to come out with his own hot sauce now. Yo,
Oh, I would totally do that.
And it doubles up. It's like,
use it as
protection
you will.
and for
So
your
it's-
chicken.
She's a quote unquote unnamed model. I'm working on it.
That's all right, Spot. If you can't
So
find it,
anyway,
no
that's our
worries.
story. We're sticking to it, and I hope you enjoyed our take.
Put Sarah on the case. She's pretty good at this shit.
All right. Well, in rando news of the day, that was probably one of the funniest stories. I saw something else that I thought was interesting. They found an 80-foot sea dragon in Great Britain. Did you see that?
I saw that the fossils of what used to be like a sea creature.
But they say it's the biggest that they've ever found. I guess maybe intact. Shit like that is always cool to me. Like, wow, man, they're still finding some shit.
You know when you watch something and you don't know.
And I love that they call it a sea dragon because it makes you think like it's some Beowulf sort of shit where it was actually shooting flames and,
Oh, by the way, do I don't know how to handle this. I think my daughter thinks unicorns are real. Do you remember when?
Yeah.
Like, do I be like, do I tell her they're imaginary or just let her figure it out eventually?
Let her roll.
Yeah. Because she's like, why are there unicorns at the zoo? I'm like,
Let
I
her
don't
roll.
answer this.
I mean, they're all right. Go to one of those little like freak show things.
Do you remember when
They go to
we were,
Ripley's.
Do you remember when we were younger? Barnum and Bailey. I promise you, Spot. If you Google this, it'll come up.
Yeah, I remember that.
Barnum and Bailey
I
Circus.
think I found a video. Is this it?
Yeah, that's the girl. That's her. Yeah.
Goddamn Drake!
Footage of Drake's Instagram girl right there.
That shit is funny.
Sorry. Continue. What am I looking for?
Sea dragons. Actually, I sent you the link.
No, Barnum and Bailey Circus when we were kids.
It wasn't that long ago. When
No,
they
it
had
was.
that
It was
goat
like
that
30
they
years
would
ago.
twist
No, it
that
was
shit
like
up.
35 years ago.
Oh wait, is
Fucking 1980 was 41 years ago.
okay. I have no confirmation, but here's a photo of Drake next to a girl, so this might be it.
Oh yeah, that's definitely her.
The chick that allegedly stole.
Like Jezebel of the highest regard.
Wow, that girl. She's good looking, but I could tell by looking at her.
Yeah, but like no, like you said, bad news. What are you thinking? Like I'm a disgusting man. I would never be that fucking vicious. That's vicious, bro.
Man.
Trifling.
I mean, she's good looking, but in like a fake, deceptive way. All right,
She's
so
a
Spot.
Decepticon.
See, we're so well rounded. Google Barnum and Bailey Circus unicorn. I remember when I was a kid. You know how every year they'd have like the, I guess you would say the headliner,
Feature.
like the feature. It would be like
Telling you, it wasn't that long ago, man.
Every year it was.
Unless they brought that shit back.
Every
in the
year it
early
was like
2000s.
the motorcycles in the cage, the elephants, the clowns,
Gunther
everything.
Gable Williams, bro.
Gunther gave the lions and the tigers. Yeah. I saw the living unicorn. That shit was when we were kids. And I remember being
goat
like,
that they forced the things together.
They put a horse, a white horse, a beautiful white horse, and they like attached a fake horn. And Barnum, what year was that, Spot? Do you remember? Does it say the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus? That had to be like 88 or 91 or some shit.
I saw Dingling Brothers, and they had the goat. With the,
I promise you, they presented a unicorn.
1871? No.
Yeah, that's it. The
just said
living
the
unicorn.
80s.
Yeah, the 80s. In the 80s, yeah. I remember going to that one and being all confused, like, wait a minute.
living unicorn.
Is there a living unicorn? Well, By the way, that's Drake's plan. That was that wasn't Plan B. It was Plan C. The hot sauce. Thank you, Lisa. All right.
Thanks, Lisa. So yeah, they in other rando news they discovered an 80-foot intact fossil
That is
found
awesome,
in Great
huh?
Britain, and it was some sort of like crazy fucking deep sea dinosaur. And when you see it, you're like, oh shit. But when they say sea dragon, I'm thinking like Godzilla.
You know when you see a fun fact and you're
I'm
like
picturing flames kind of coming out of its mouth, destroying ships.
you know when you see a fun fact, you're not sure if it's like a documentary you were watching or just a TikTok video and you don't know? But it was like a science. There. Speaking of your fossils,
pull it up, Swells. ABC News.
There's some wild. This is not the sad stat of the day. This is the wild stat of the day. Yeah. The amount of species that were on planet Earth right now. I mean, you can imagine is that it's all-time low, but they're saying the amount of species on planet Earth, humans, dogs, rats, cats, you can name there's probably a million. I don't even know, right? But if you go back like every 1,000 years you go back, there were like millions of more species and creatures. Like if you go back to like...
There's only 3 as far as I know, aside from like parasites and shit like that are existing today from dinosaur days.
Oh yeah, no, but they're saying that...
There's
but
crocodiles and alligators.
Yeah, and like...
Cockroaches.
There's
and
a few
turtles.
Yeah. But they're saying...
As far as I know.
They're saying back then... I'm making this up, but it's around this. Let's just say there's 1 million species now. There used to be 100 million species. So like we're talking... this Earth used to just have fucking wild different creatures and species and everything everywhere. And what we see now, pretty cool, right? But not even close to the amount of like... Now it's like... We're limited to like, zoo animals and like bugs, but we're talking back in the day. I can't imagine. Like, do you ever watch? You ever see any clips of that show that I gave up on? Because I told you I don't tell you all the shows that I try. Like I think La Brea, yeah, but I tried it. That show that's like it was the #1 network show. It got renewed. They go back in time, right? They're dealing with like woolly mammoths. Like imagine if there was a woolly fucking mammoth right now. How dope would that be?
Super dope. Spot, do you have the fossil footage?
Yeah,
I sent it to you.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was still looking for the hoe.
Just a thought. I mean, there's so many stories like this that we don't even address. It happens all the time. So you're like, man, the fact that they're just finding shit still like that is amazing to me.
It is wild when you do think about in that context, Covino, like, wow, muchacho.
That fucking thing was in the ocean?
Yeah. Well, look at the ocean now.
That shit's crazy. Imagine that. Like you're scared of like sharks and whales. Imagine some fucking dinosaur-looking thing creeping out of the water.
If you've ever gone on a cruise, which I have, I've enjoyed the cruises I've been on. Terry, Tom, Victor, all the cruises. By the way, you forget how Victor Cruz was so cool for like 3 years of your life.
Victor Cruz, he's in that Tom Brady documentary.
Yeah.
For a second.
Oh, I just had it. There it is.
Look at that fucking thing.
It's huge.
Imagine a sea dragon.
Can you ride it?
How dope would that be?
Sea dragon rides at SeaWorld?
Some kind of dinosaur. Ichthyosaur?
Who named it? Mike Tyson?
Ichthyosaur.
Ichthyosaur, my favorite dinosaur.
I'm so ichthy.
If in the water too.
It makes me ichthy thinking about it.
80-foot dinosaurs. From 12,000 years ago.
No, I forgot what I was saying because you made me laugh. What was I even saying? Probably nothing important. Let's forget it then.
Fossils.
Fossils.
I threw a fossil. Watch it.
Oh, cruise. When I went on a cruise.
Yeah.
Victor, Tom, Terry.
There were
cruise.
Fossil watches.
You look out into the ocean and you're like, yo, there's so much we don't know. It's scary as fuck, dude. I
said this the other day.
Yo, Spot, you have
the creatures of the deep.
Oh,
the ocean,
creatures of the deep.
The ocean. I said this.
Maybe that should be the name of our next podcast.
I said this. Creatures of the deep. I said this the other day. I would rather be shot into deep space.
Can you make it like we're underwater, Spot?
Sure. I would rather be shot into deep space than go under live under the ocean or be trapped under the ocean.
Spot. I always think of that. When I told you the few times I've been on a cruise, when you're on a boat, 90% of the time you've been on a boat in your life, 95% of the time you've been on a boat, if you've ever even been on a boat, you see the shore pretty close by because you're just going out to a lake or somewhere close by.
Does the Jungle Cruise at Disney count?
That counts too, yeah.
Okay, cool.
But unless you go on a cruise ship where you look in every direction and there is no land in sight, it's a wild feeling like, yo, what is under us? What is in this?
Ichthyosaurs. Welcome to Creatures of the Deep. What's it called, Spot?
Creatures of the Deep.
Welcome to Creatures of the Deep with Covino and Rich.
Today we highlight the ichthyosaur.
Yeah, that could be fun. And then you could also highlight your deep thoughts. Like, so deep, we're now 12,000 leagues under the sea.
This would only be a great podcast if the whole time we were playing the Super Mario Brothers underwater theme.
Because we do have to package and market our podcast in a different way. Not this show, but like
something.
Our Free Twitch Friday. So it's Covino and Rich. It's getting late early. As I wrap up the rando news of the day on Creatures of the Deep. Ooh, it's an anglerfish. Is that a manta ray? I saw this story and it made my heart smile.
Are we done being underwater?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay.
But it's not a bad idea. Might get us noticed.
Creatures of the sea.
I saw this video and I thought it was great. And a lot of people sent it to us because, again, when people see stories, they think of us and they send it. I saw Henry Winkler on TikTok for the first time.
He's fantastic.
And he was doing his fucking total Henry Winkler style, like old guy dance, but in his own way. Like
he's funny as hell.
Funny about
yeah,
it.
he's just so charming.
Since then,
I gotta call him.
It's gone viral. And I saw on Insider on Facebook News that Henry Winkler is shocked that his dances continue to go viral on TikTok, saying he only did it because his granddaughter insisted.
Oh, his granddaughter's trying to get likes via Grandpa.
So,
Grandpa, you're famous, right?
You got to do it. Oh, I can't. Okay, I will. Okay, I will.
I can't. I must.
I can't.
I will.
I can't. Okay,
no,
I will.
Okay, but no.
So
but
he
yes,
probably
but
does
no.
it. He's probably reluctant, but then he's like, I'm Henry Winkler. I'll do it. And that shit goes viral immediately, and everybody fucking loves it.
I mean, this is the first one. This is him with his grandkids, just to show you his beautiful family.
Grandpa Winky, can you do it?
Grandpa Winky.
No, I can't.
They probably call him Grandpa Hank.
Grandpa Hank. Hank Zipser.
But no, but yes.
Henry?
Yes, but no.
That's it, yeah.
But there's ones where he dances by himself.
The one that went viral was the one him in front of his Christmas tree.
Yeah.
That shit is great, though.
That's
got tens of millions of views.
I saw it, I laughed, right? But since then, so many people have sent that to me and then, brought to our attention that it's gone viral.
From the coldest place in our house, happy holidays, happy New Year's. This is my TikTok. I don't know how to add music, so...
He's great, man.
The Christmas tree one. Come on,
so
nice.
nice.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
I just played it.
This one.
I just played the.
No, this one. Oh, this. I'm sorry.
Beat it out the frame, beat it out the frame. Yeah, beat it out the frame, beat it out the frame. Man, I don't think, but tomorrow Saturday.
The Christmas tree one is the one that I think has gone viral.
Oh, him with Ellen. That was a good one too, Scott.
Yeah, this is the one.
I played this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This moves.
It's like interpretive old guy
his
dance. I love it.
grandkids must be happy too, though. Like, told you, Grandpa. Because again, he strikes gold, and everything he touches turns to Grohl. And I bring up Dave Grohl for the last story of the day. I am a big Foo Fighters fan.
Same.
I love Dave Grohl, and I was not aware of this. Spot sent it to me yesterday. My understanding is Dave Grohl signed up with a production team, and they decided to make like a goofy horror movie.
Oh,
So the Foo
I
Fighters
wasn't
are
sure.
making
it was
a
a
movie.
movie. I saw the thing that was sent, and it's like Dave Grohl. Like it's almost like a corny movie or a show where.
But it looks so bad that it's great.
They're recording an album in like a haunted house.
Now,
right?
now did Dave Grohl go too far because everything he touches turns to Grohl?
Yeah.
Or is this going to be a success too?
You found a new musical note?
Yes, I did.
It's an L.
It's an L.
Any chefs in the group?
I'm pretty handy on the grill.
Yeah, you like your meat charred and dry.
He does make a killer barbecue.
I mean, it looks so stupid, but I feel like I'll watch it.
Oh, I'll definitely watch it.
So the premise is they find this house to record their 10th album in, right?
And it's like haunted and
And
weird.
it's haunted, and everything that's coming out is like almost like devil fucking music, you know?
Looks funny.
Finish the song.
You did.
Studio 666. And it's
Based upon
based
a
on a
story by
story
Dave
by
Grohl.
Dave Grohl, and it looks kind of good, but it's like, did he go to the well too many times where this doesn't work? I think it might.
And if it doesn't, it'll be a funny fail.
His
you know?
his videos were always well done.
He's a good actor, man. He
Yeah.
plays the demon in Tenacious D's
Right.
Pick of Destiny in the video and the movie. And, you know, he's just a charming, really funny guy. And it looks good. I was not aware of it, but I'll check it out. So thank you for all the feedback. That's your rando news of the day. Rich, you had a few things to address before
Yeah, I don't know if
call
we're going
it.
to be able to get to it all, but I'll get to
You had something why you're so horny.
why Rich is horny.
I got to hear
And my sad stat of the day. My sad stat of the day is that according to statistics, I don't know where they get these statistics, the average American
Thinks of Abe Lincoln every day, once a day.
thinks of Abe Lincoln.
I'm with Lisa Paraggio. I think of Henry Winkler more than I think of Abe Lincoln.
Really?
Yeah.
I think of Henry Winkler a lot, too. There's a lot of, like, random Fonzie, like, stickers around L.A.
He's our next treasure, and he needs.
Yeah,
to be
we got to
protected.
fucking keep
Now-
him safe.
He needs to be protected.
You and I and Spot, bad examples for this field study. In fact, our listeners might not be the best field study either because we have a lot of people that do sales or driving trucks or doing, keeping America running, doing important things. But they're saying the average American from birth to death visits less than 12 states out of the 50. So, I mean, like, there's 50 states. We all know this. Alaska, hard to get to.
The 50
might be the hardest one.
United States.
Alaska and Hawaii, the hardest to get to.
Jordan
clearly.
has a theory that it should be part of Canada because it's connected to Canada.
That's not
She's like,
how-
it's still Canada.
That's not how things work.
Is that
And
how
her,
things-
and
but-
Colton argue about it. He's like, it's not Canada, eh? She's like, but it's connected to Canada.
Yeah, but I mean, does she know that doesn't work that way?
Yeah, but she's like, but it should be Canada.
Oh, then
He's like, yeah, but it's not, eh?
It's not.
Hawaii is an island.
I know.
That's not how.
But
That's
that-
not
But it
how,
is
like,
connected to Canada.
That's
I
not
mean,
how
yeah.
like ownership works.
I mean, but
Yeah.
there's also like,
Oh, I know, yeah.
Canada's connected to the United States. It's just a
I mean, she
border.
has a point, though. It is connected to Canada,
Yeah,
not
but we're,
the United States.
we're connected to Canada.
yeah, it's not how like.
Yeah, but it's more connected to Canada than it is the United States.
No, I'm gonna have to disagree with her on this.
Look
one.
at the map. I looked at the globe. I was looking at the
know,
globe the other day.
I know,
I was like,
but
what was your
it's-
theory again? Because I just want to look at this.
I mean, it's funny. I get what she's saying, but
He's
it's
like, it's like totally connected to Canada. It should be a part of Canada.
Have you ever
I'm like,
like,
yeah, I know, but
that's not how territories work.
Do you ever do what I do?
think she knows that
I know,
too.
I know.
Do you ever do what I
It's
do
funny, though.
and like zoom in on Google Maps sometimes to see like crazy remote areas of the world?
That people live in. I think of that all the time.
There's
Spot. I'm
a-
like, you're
there's a
living
town-
your life here, and you think like life revolves around you and your little world. Meanwhile, there's some guy living in a cabin in fucking
Where's fucking Joe Montana from? I never heard of that place.
Banff, Canada.
No, where Joe Montana was from. He's like, it's the perfect place to grow up. I'm like, I never heard
Yeah,
of
Joe
it.
Montana lives in a spot. Look it up. It's like Minka Funka.
Mingalaka Haka.
Yeah, it's like Minka
Fucking-
High, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I'm like, I never heard of that place ever.
Where's Joe Montana
Perfect
from?
town, a lot of
the great high
perfect town.
schools and small hometown. There's a
Never heard
there's a
of it.
steel mill and a factory and the perfect place to grow up. Minka Funka, Pennsylvania.
Mingalaka.
Managahala.
Mingalaka Haka.
Yeah, Joe Montana, best place to live. Minka High.
Manangahala.
Monongahela? Monongahela.
Never heard of it. Never heard of it.
Joe Montana, best place to grow up. Monongahela.
Fun fact. I looked this up recently. The westernmost part of the United States is in Canada. It's like the tiniest little thing, and it's only accessible by airport. Fuck, what it's called?
Salmon Arm.
No. I'm going to have to look it up.
Fuck, we recently watched a documentary about someone. It was like they grew up in a weird. Oh, those wrestling documentaries, like the ones with like Shawn Michaels or this person. I think where did
Wales. Wales is the westernmost city of the United States. Did you know that?
No.
Wales.
Is that where Tom Jones is from?
Yeah. So no. So here, let me show you on a map.
Wales.
So here's Alaska, right?
Yeah.
Which is attached to Canada.
I heard there's some big women out there.
I did. By the way, when what's her name said she could see Russia from her house, she's not wrong. And the westernmost part
is right there. That little tippity tip right there.
Is this little tippity tip right here, which is, it's remote when there's like water.
Yeah, that's like how do you even get around there? Yeah.
So it's only accessible. This is the town. There's a post office, an airport, and that's it. And this is the westernmost part of the United States.
Where is Sarah Palin from again?
I mean, she lives in the...
No, but where is she? Where did she live that she joked that she could see Russia?
Probably. What's the capital of...
Is it Anchorage?
Damn, I forget. I knew the answer to that. Forgot.
Your daughter probably knows.
I forgot. Oh, because we used to hear about it all the time.
Anchorage? Is it Anchorage? Must be Anchorage.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it must be Anchorage. But yeah, so the westernmost part...
It's right there. And where's Russia?
Of the United States. Russia is
right there.
Right. There's this island that's half Russian, half
it's wild.
The United States, and then there's Russia right there.
So the stat is the average American only goes to 12 of the 50 states.
12 to 50. And like growing up on the East Coast, you're thinking New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Delaware,
Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho.
No, I'm saying like Delaware, Maryland. Like there's like probably 6 that you easily just covered, probably just going on little family, like couple hours away. That's the crazy part was when I met my wife.
It's Juno.
Juno. When my wife and I first started going on little road trips and hanging together, it was wild to her because when she grew up in New Braunfels, Texas, you could drive 5 to 10 hours in any direction, and guess where you still are? Texas. You're in New York. You drive 5 or 6 hours. You could make it to like New Hampshire, Vermont, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland, D.C., Delaware. Like you could cover, like you could go to Atlantic City, Philadelphia, all these places within an hour or so. It's wild. So yeah, 12 states or less, and I feel like that's it makes me think people should get out there a little more.
I'm amazed when I'm taking like that Idaho road trip where you cross the state lines. You could tell the like where the tax money's going because the roads are completely different.
Oh yeah,
from right where you cross into that border, right where you cross. Like even especially if it's snowy. Like wow, man. Why aren't they fucking plowing these roads? But as soon as I got to Utah, everything's fucking plowed and everything's smooth sailing.
You know what's fascinating too? Let me show you Alaska again. Sorry.
No, it is fascinating.
If you see, Alaska's highlighted in red.
Yeah.
It extends
there are territories and little islands.
I mean, you probably can't live on these.
Who the fuck lives there? Anyone?
Yeah,
is there any person that lives on that, or is it vacant? If it's property if it's territory we own, the United States occupies. There's got to be something there.
No, there's nothing there.
There's people that live in spaceships, bud.
But there's no one living there. You can't live. Oh, wait. Oh, the Navy. So it's a Navy.
So there's probably something. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's someone there.
It's a Navy.
If there's land, if there's land, there's someone there.
You're saying we need to see more.
We need to see more
butts.
We need to see more butts. But based on what you just said, you got me thinking. I think you're the winner. I think because I thought about this. Based on our Covino and Rich travels, based on the show for the last 17 years and your own...
Yeah, but driving through doesn't count. You have to spend the night to say you've been there.
No, I disagree.
No, driving through, if you see...
Think?
Yeah. You've been there.
Stopping at a rest stop counts.
Yeah, I mean, if you've been through it, like if you've seen the welcome to whatever sign...
I think peeing there counts.
Okay.
I don't know why.
I had a friend that used to want to try to have sex in every state. And I'm like, that's ambitious. But what I'm saying is, California, Nevada, Arizona, Texas, based on our road trips alone, I think we're missing only like 5 states. And wait, I've been to Hawaii. You've been to Hawaii. You've been to Hawaii. I've never been to Alaska.
Never been to Alaska.
Never been.
And I want to go. I want to go on Alaska.
Other than, all right, so Alaska.
But I've been to Canada and it's attached.
And don't worry, I'm not going to make a list here, but it's very simple because I think it's really Alaska, North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana,
we've been-
Idaho. There's
See, that's where you're wrong. We've been to North Dakota. We've
North
driven
Dakota. That's
through it.
right. Because okay. So what I'm saying is, I think we're down to like 5 or 6 states that we've never been to, and I think you hit a couple of them because now you're an Idaho guy. Like Idaho was on my list. So that's pretty wild. Like, I mean, does there come a point in Steve Covino's 45-year life where you're like, well, there's fucking 4 states left? Your OCD should make you want to just do it.
Gotta go to Alaska. I would love to go to Alaska.
My dad went on an Alaskan cruise and said it was great. The only thing that's overrated is apparently when you go on the sleigh rides with the dogs, they kick their shit back up at you.
Oh. Sweet.
Like you're on this dog sled and you're like, this is
All
sweet.
right.
But they shit while they're running, and so every so often, like you'll see a piece of shit fly by.
You want to play yours or mine?
Spot. We did it mostly together. So
All right,
Washington. Yeah, click on all the states you've been to.
All right, Washington, Oregon, California,
Yeah.
Nevada, obviously. Been to Idaho. Passed through.
Go through the East Coast first. Just get that out of the way.
All right. Never been to Maine. Have you been to Maine?
Yes.
Okay. Maine.
Wait.
Didn't you go on that Poland Springs tour?
Yeah, I've been to
I'm gonna say
Massachusetts.
no to Maine. I'm gonna
I've
say
been to
no.
Connecticut, Rhode
Yeah.
Island, obviously New York,
Yeah.
New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland,
Course.
Virginia,
Course.
North Carolina, South
Course.
Carolina, Georgia,
Course.
Florida. All right, we've been to Tennessee. We've been to Kentucky. We've been through West Virginia. We drove through.
We
We've
drove
been to
through West
Ohio.
Virginia.
We've been to Indianapolis. Been to Illinois. Been to Wisconsin.
Yep, of course.
Been to Michigan.
All right, wait. So now go down to the south a little
Been
bit. Go-
through Minnesota.
Wait, stop. Now go down to the south.
Okay. Alabama. I've been to Mississippi.
We've been to Mississippi.
Have we?
No, I don't remember being in
No.
Mississippi.
The Ole Miss.
No,
I don't
I've been
remember
to
being in
Louisiana. Been to Arkansas.
Wait, hold on. We've been to Texas. Cross that out. That's a biggie.
Texas is biggie. Oklahoma. We've been to.
Been to Oklahoma.
Went to Missouri. Drove through Iowa.
I don't remember driving
We drove
Iowa.
through Iowa on the road trip, right?
Yeah, been
Really?
to
I
North
don't remember
Dakota. Wyoming.
No.
Definitely Colorado, Denver. Utah.
We've been to Utah.
Been to
Arizona.
Utah.
And New Mexico. And then Hawaii.
So
Have we? Oh, we've been to. No. Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Nah,
The Ole
I
Miss.
don't
Wait,
know.
do you have to go through
Mississippi.
Mississippi to get to New Orleans? If you drove?
We didn't drive. I didn't drive
Did
there.
I pee there? That didn't count.
Kansas?
Oh, that's a good one.
No.
Kansas City. Is it?
yeah.
Kansas City,
Kansas
Missouri.
City, Kansas. No, we went to Kansas City, Kansas for because Kansas City, Missouri
In Kansas. Yeah.
is where, but Kansas City, Kansas,
Yeah.
you have to go to I think to get to the field, the game. So that
Wait, is
counts.
that the same Kansas City?
No, it's not.
No, Spot. Wrong. Undo it.
No, I'm serious.
Kansas City, Missouri
He's
is
saying
where
you have to
no,
go
no.
through it, though.
There's Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri.
And they're right next to each other?
Oh,
We've been
really?
to Kansas City, Kansas.
We were in Kansas City.
Where?
Okay, then cross it off
Kansas
then.
City, Missouri.
Pretty sure. I think we did.
But look at what's left.
So 1, 2,
Wyoming.
So on the Covino and Rich
2, 3,
travel
4, 5.
list, what is it?
Either of you been to Vermont?
Yeah, bunch of times.
Yeah, skiing.
in
Oh,
Vermont.
skiing in Vermont. Never been to New Hampshire.
New Hampshire I've been to.
Vermont's beautiful.
So what? It's like Maine, North Dakota, Montana. Like we really are close. Like let's do a finish the fucking country tour.
I'm down for that. I can't wait.
So we're gonna hop from Alabama to Mississippi.
I mean, I feel like we had to have been to Alabama.
We'll just cut across the country at an angle.
I would love to do that.
I would
Cross
love to go to
him
Montana.
off then.
I would love to go to Montana to go fly fishing with Henry Winkler. Have we never been to Wyoming?
I will. So hey,
No,
if that
Bruno, Big
gets
B.
you fired up to do it, let's do it. As soon as the world says we're okay to do it, let's do it.
Man, yeah, not bad.
All right.
Not
well,
bad.
that's the random news. And what's the final thing you wanted to tell us about?
Oh, we'll get to it tomorrow. It's
Well,
too long.
give us a little tease then.
Why am I so horny?
Why is oh man, what a great way to get into our Thursday.
I say we skip Vegas for our next convention and we go to Alaska.
I would love to.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Covino and Rich, our first post-COVID convention, Juneau.
I imagine.
No, let's go to that place where the only thing is the naval base.
Oh, that one island.
The little island.
The island on the
2 miles from Russia.
the very end.
Russia on Christmas.
So we're going to Attu Island
Now hold on, we have a meeting
right here.
in like 20 minutes.
Attu
So you
Island.
sure you don't want to tell your story now?
No, because I have to record some pops and cash.
Attu Island right there. That's where this is CRC 2022. Attu Island.
Well, just so you guys know,
I say we do it
We are
in
starting to talk about like what our next event is going to be when.
Yeah, the couple
When the
things we're
world
talking.
is
The couple
okay.
things we're talking about are trips and guests. Now that like the world's going to open again, up again, and if not, we're going to open up the world. Can't live like this forever. By the way, did you see, Spot, one last news note. Did you see that they're saying that there might be, and they say this all the time, so fuck it. I was saying end in sight where they were saying how like there might be, they found new information, and it was like a legitimate source. It was like a New York Times or something. It was where there's like,
if it's not in the New York Times, I don't care.
They have what they think is the initial, like the workings of what could be a vaccine that would just be totally able to avoid every possible variant, like in general. And if that were the case, then people are like, well, more vaccines. Maybe so, but there could be one that kills them all, if that makes sense.
Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't?
No.
Nothing makes sense.
No.
Yeah, I don't know if we went to Kansas.
But my neighbor has a new Tesla, and he always vaccine.
Thinks he's better than me.
You are better than me?
Thinks he's better than me. Vaccine.
Why do I
Next
feel
to
like,
the day. Remember that one? Way back Wednesday?
I feel like all the states we said we haven't gone to, someone could probably convince me I've been there.
I think we should go. I think we should go there. I think that's where we should do it.
Where?
But then again, what's the turnout going to be?
Where?
If we go to those states we've never been to.
Let's stick with Vegas. If you want a turnout,
I would love to.
If you want people to come out and party, we'll do our first live event in 2022 in Vegas. But
nice road trip sounds like fun.
You know, maybe. Hey, you know what?
I swear we drove through Kansas.
No pressure, but
I'm cool under pressure.
Okay, Joe Montana. When I say no pressure, I genuinely mean it. If the time comes when if you ever marry Jordan, I'm guessing the wedding would be in Idaho.
I don't know.
And maybe Maybe you and I will drive to all those surrounding states.
Anyway.
Yeah, but that might be the good reason to go up there.
I've been to Idaho.
Like if you get married in the next couple years, and it's in Idaho, which I'm sure it would be because that's where her family and friends are. I think that Spot and I should just drive to all those surrounding. We've never been to states.
Don't hold on to that because she'd want to do something small, and I don't know if that would be in Idaho. I don't even know. I know she doesn't want all that hoopla.
Was her sister in Colton's wedding too hoopla for her?
She loved it, but would never want that.
Oh, so
maybe I
so Vegas again for you.
I don't know.
Vegas
no
again.
idea.
Two times.
By the way, I haven't been to Idaho. I'm so annoyed.
Yeah.
You should go.
Because I almost was in Idaho.
When you drove to see the
When I
eclipse?
drove to see the eclipse, this is Oregon. I drove here, but then I went south. So I was like within miles of Idaho.
Oh, we miss it. Last thought of it. It's a very self-serving conversation because it's about us. But of those, do you have still that map of where we didn't go? Somewhere?
Yeah.
Anything in those states that was like, man, how the fuck have we not been there? Because that's a pretty deep. I'll be honest. I mean, it's very work related, so you can't pat yourself on the back too much. But we've hit about 44 of the 50 states.
That's pretty good.
But I'm saying of the 6 or so we didn't hit, is there something where like, yo, you guys like South Dakota? I've heard that.
I mean, we never saw Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, but I've heard that's underwhelming.
Yeah, but
it's
still
still
a national landmark.
So Mount Rushmore. Alabama, maybe go see a fucking Alabama college football game. Yeah. Just for that might be something.
Mississippi?
Wait. Oh, the Mississippi River runs so much. That's why I was like the Mississippi River you see from.
Well, we saw it
Louisiana.
I
feel like
I've in St. Louis.
No, wait, Spot.
Never been to Louisiana.
I've been to Mississippi.
How?
I drove from New York to Louisiana.
I don't think that counts, man.
No,
I don't.
Did
you stop at a rest stop? Did you have a hamburger?
No, but
Did
if you stop somewhere and eat and like you're in Mississippi, you're in Mississippi. I feel like those bottom two I've covered, Spot, but that whole north middle of the country area. By the way,
I feel like you need to fucking at least take a shit for
what country? What country? What state and city?
Did you ever push one out in Mississippi?
It doesn't count.
And I said, "Woo, wait!"
Nah, it doesn't count. You can't just fucking drive. It's like I flew over it.
Hey, Spot,
that don't count.
Well, flying.
I was in a connecting flight. I was there, for like 10 minutes.
Flying and layovers don't count unless you leave the airport. Unless you leave the airport and get like lunch or something.
See, now you're bending rules. That's what I'm saying. Like if you drive through it, like
then you've seen more than most have. All right, Spot, of that, pull up the map of the United States.
So anyway, if you just joined us, remember most people only see 12.
By the way,
where are you?
Super close to Mississippi because we went to Memphis.
Maybe we did, Spot, but I don't think we've known enough.
No, because then we went west and went through Arkansas.
Go to the map of the U.S. real quick. It'll be our last.
I'm gonna
note
go there and
of the
find
day.
my Mississippi queen.
It'll be your last note of the day, and tomorrow I guess I'll tell you why I'm so horny. P.S. Look at the map of the U.S. What town or city do you think claims to be like we're the middle of the spot? Look, eye it up in your own eye. Look at that map of the United States. What do you think could be considered like, yo, this is the exact middle of the country?
The middle of the country.
Like, would you say where maybe the S in the United States is? The A, like
middle of the
like
country.
What's the exact
is
middle?
Probably. It's probably right here. It's probably either Nebraska or Kansas argue to be the middle of the country.
I always thought it was Kansas, so I'm gonna stick with that.
Like, so someone that's in Kansas would be like, we are like the fucking middle.
Yeah. Let me look it up. Let me Google it.
The middle.
I've never Nebraska.
Your buddy Brian McFadden worked there. Ryan Sampson worked in Nebraska.
I know,
like,
but
Nebraska,
I don't have any. I've never been in Nebraska.
I think that was one of our ones that we didn't.
center?
Okay, I thought you said we were there.
No, I think that was one of our
I've
spots.
never
They
been
said
to
we.
Nebraska.
I think spots that we might have drove
I've never
through.
Cornhusk. I never.
The
have
geographic center of the
near a
United
Cornhusker.
States, the contiguous United States, is located 2.6 miles northwest of Lebanon, Kansas. So 12 miles south of the Kansas-Nebraska.
Let me give you like a trivia question that you would hear on a game show or something. That place where it's like the 4 points. What states is it where you could stand and it's like 4 states?
Oh, that's right here.
Nevada, Utah,
Colorado, and
Arizona.
Is that what it is? Right there? Is that where it is?
Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona.
Yeah. And you can
New
stand there
Mexico.
and you could be on a spot where you are literally.
I'm almost positive I've done that. Yeah,
You've seen the
pretty
image.
sure I have. So anyway, that's our show, guys.
There's an actual.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've seen that where like you're literally that's the point.
Yeah, there's an actual.
That's pretty cool.
Thing there. See?
You ever think of how weird it is how they decided where the lines were and how.
I mean,
like you said, just as recent as a couple hundred years ago, shit was like.
Cartographers have been around for centuries, but it's all longitude and
No,
latitude. It's all by degrees.
What I'm saying though is like how. Are you
talking about how like just white people just decided what land to steal and
that's fascinating?
Is that what you mean?
Oh yeah, I think it's fascinating. Oh, Sarah,
as who even talks about that?
Like when
Jim Gaffigan talks about that.
Like for the Louisiana Purchase, right?
Yeah.
Like how did they know where that ended? Like was there like an exact marker back then? But like this is what I'm buying. The Louisiana Purchase.
Not only that's fine. I'm just talking about how like a couple hundred years ago, families migrated west and like died along the way, like Oregon Trail style. Meanwhile, now you take like a quick fucking 5-hour flight and you're from New York to LA. But I'm saying like and it's not even like it's not even like thousands of years ago. We're talking like a couple hundred years ago. People like tried to do it.
Did you ever see the movie Far and Away with Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise?
It's possible.
It's based on it was like a land race where all these people, it was like go, and they ran, found a plot of land, and just went, this is mine. And that's how they own their land.
Wild. And you start thinking of all the things, all these towns and cities
that was far
are just
away.
really named after people that were fucking assertive back then. Like every town and city is named after a person, right? I mean, it's wild when you think about it. It's
Lincoln, Nebraska.
So yeah, Lincoln.
Just made you think of Abe again.
Abe Lincoln. So a couple hundred years ago, the fucking bold,
prominent or rich people.
the bold, rich, and prominent were just like, all right, I'm going to take this, you're going to take that, you're going to take this, and what are you going to call it? Well, I'll fucking name it after myself. And fast forward a couple hundred years, it's just so second nature to us, but we forget it was not that long ago that just rich or powerful people were like boom, boom, boom. And I did not know my wife hated Christopher Columbus so much. I was like, really? Like you're one? She's like, well, he's like a bad guy. I'm like, yeah, but we wouldn't be here or alive if it weren't for Columbus. So you can't hate him that much.
I mean, he's one of many bad guys.
But she was like, she said there was like, she showed me something like there's a reading of like his book. Have you ever seen this? Like his,
oh yeah. Oh, I know what she's talking
like his
about.
diary?
like, where his diary, he's like, these people are vulnerable. Like I showed them my knife and they were so dumb they touched it and
Who
cut
just
their
did
hand.
this? Somebody did a routine on this.
Was it Gaffigan? No, it was someone where Sarah
I
showed
have
me.
seen it.
Sarah showed me and I was like, oh yeah, that he in like Christopher Columbus's journal, he was like, they'll be easy to fucking manipulate. They're so dumb.
It probably was a TikTok video.
We'll
I saw it too.
We'll
It's
make
like,
it
was a TikTok video.
It was like
some guy was like, he literally writes from his like diaries that these are the kindest people that mean no harm,
but they're going to be
they'll
so easy to kill and take over,
to enslave.
Yeah, they're going to be so easy to enslave because
they lead with kindness.
They lead
it
with
sounds
kindness.
like a corporate hostile takeover. Things haven't changed that much.
Yeah, but Spot, if you could look up,
there just hasn't been death.
Like I know we got to go in a second, but look, like think of.
Yeah, I got stuff to do. Let's go.
look it up for tomorrow, maybe tomorrow. Christopher Columbus literally was like, these people are kind and nice. And we showed them a knife and they were so dumb that they touched it and cut themselves. Like, this will be an easy takeover. And how great they will to be enslaved. Like,
yeah.
And it's like, man, Columbus, like anyone that stuck up for you, like put that away, put your diary away.
I don't know, primitive thinking.
But then again, that's how fucking everyone settled land. Like, you're right. Spot's like, right. Is it any different than like a condo taking over land or some rich landowner in like Yellowstone trying to take over some shit?
But for me, it showed you how the natives led with peace and kindness.
Yeah, that didn't work.
You know, he mistook their kindness for weakness.
No,
he took advantage of that.
He took he took their kindness and fucking destroyed it. All right.
I saw that though. Yeah, I saw exactly what you're speaking of.
Sarah's like, it's disgusting.
Well,
hey,
be an explorer, but not like Columbus.
And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
See the world, and thank you for being here.
Until tomorrow. Arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land.
Goodbye.
Peace.